If that was happening right now in front of us, most of us in this room will literally vomit or shit our pants. Violence is so toned down when you see it on a screen.
It's their right not to get killed. They don't deserve it.
This is where veganism is truly a litmus test. You can take part in that violence and get away with it absolutely fine.
I am telling you that I do agree. In spite of this fact, I did not change.
Do you possess any kind of values such as empathy, kindness?
Unfortunately, I want to be truthful and I would say no.
I mean, you're probably not a casteist, someone who hates based on religion, race or gender. I don't think you're that kind of a person.
I am not sure, but okay. But we'll play along for
Let's play along for that, okay, right. But when it comes to the species barrier, there is a problem.
If I do something wrong with a human, he may inflict some kind of a pain on me, but this chicken may not be able to.
That shows lack of accountability on your side, Ankit.
Interested in going vegan? Watch Arvind's full guide to being vegan in India.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Face to Face with Arvind. And in today's episode, we have a special guest, that is Mr. Ankit Verma, aka Bioshala. Welcome to the show, bro.
Thank you so much, Arvind.
Yeah. I also have a small story to say. Today is apparently Ankit's birthday, so...
don't add to mention, but it's okay, fine.
Okay, I won't mention the date, but it's his birthday, so happy birthday, Ankit.
Thank you so much. What better day to spend?
Actually, he's been very kind to actually have spending his time here. I do want to share an interesting story, if you don't mind. Sure. That is this, we are right now shooting this at 5:25 p.m. We were supposed to have started this at 11 a.m. today, but Mr. Ankit presumed that his slot was tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, so totally I called him up on the phone and I'm like, hey, Ankit. And the thing is, I haven't given my number to anybody so far. Even when I called him, I used the studio manager's number. And I'm like, hey, Arvind here. Arvind, hey, how are you? And I was like, yeah, this guy is not showing up today for sure. Like, what's he doing? I'm like, bro, where are you?
What was your first thought? I know, you were very sure, at least this guy is not coming today. What was your second thought? Why? What could be the reason that he's not showing up?
I did not think he's not coming today. I first thought, poor guy got lost or in an accident or something. That's the first thought that came to me. I was like, oh my goodness.
Thank you for killing me. Or you could not think of some other better reasons?
No, that's honorable. I don't think you're someone who will lie or run away. I think since you're injured, you don't show. That is showing high value towards you. High regard of you. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
But there's one thing I do want to mention to your audience right now. I am right now shooting this in Juhu at the Mumbai podcast studio, and I do want to give a shout out to the studio here right now. They have been so immensely supportive. Because they could have easily said, hey man, your slot is in the morning. He didn't show up. Sorry, we can't do it. They were just like, no issues, Arvind. We'll come back in the evening if you'll show up and we can get it done. So any of my friends and followers and everybody watching right now, if you want to do a podcast in Mumbai, I would request you to please work with Mumbai Podcast Studio at Juhu.
And thank you so much. I cannot be please make sure to book them. All power to them, because this podcast, this particular meeting would not have happened if not for Nikhil. Thank you so much.
Definitely. So thumbs up for them, for sure. And so first I just want to talk about you, bro. So you run a channel called Bioshala. So since I am from Tamil Nadu, my Hindi is very poor. If I'm not wrong, Pathshala means a place of learning, right?
Yes.
And Bioshala now translates to what?
Bioshala is basically when I completed my master's, I could not complete my PhD. I was in integrated PhD program in ISER, Indian Institute.
What were you doing a PhD on? What subject?
Basically, I was exploring different labs, but retinal regeneration in zebrafish, bioinformatics, immunology, and these. As far as the fundamental problems are concerned, first is the regeneration of the retina. How there's this fish, zebrafish, which is able to regenerate if you just of course I'm talking to you right now.
Fair enough, but go on, we're still talking.
But we need to poke its eyes, okay, and within 7 days it is able to regenerate its eyes fully with functionality. So we wanted to know what are those genes, what is the functionality of it, what are those nitty-gritties that actually enables this particular fish to regain its vision. So can we use those basics principles in humans as well? So that was the fundamental problem. Second was although my dissertation and my thesis was in celiac disease, gluten sensitive.
Gluten, okay.
So that was the second thing. I like since it was an integrated PhD program, I basically visited many labs, did 6 months work, 1 year's works in different labs. So as far as the major portion is concerned, is regarding retinal regeneration and celiac disease.
Zebrafish, okay.
Yeah. Other than that, like they are mostly techniques. They are molecular techniques. You can utilize those techniques to find answer to any other problem as well.
Okay.
But like the problem that I was going for was were retinal regenerations and.
So it is fair of me to call you as a biologist. You are a biologist.
I don't know. I'm just like, I'm wandering in life. And I'm not sure, but science communicator, this is the thing that
You're a teacher of science. You can call yourself a teacher.
Teacher of science. Yes. I try to communicate science in a, like those concepts, like the things that are happening in the medical world, in biomolecular world. I try to communicate to the general public how, and in the parallel, I also make sure to let people know to like attain scientific temperament, be it from the perspective of debunking Baba's videos.
I was going to come to that, but yeah, go on.
It's a major portion of me, like most of the people that know me on internet, as far as the internet is concerned, like they know me from the perspective that I debunk Baba Log.
Actually, I was just going to come to that. So one good thing is I'm glad I'm speaking to, I can say, a scientific mind, someone who's into biology, because the subject we're going to touch upon today is a clash of philosophy and biology, because that's what brings forward ethics.
Exactly.
And the talks about morality and all this comes with it's a mixture of biology and philosophy. So yeah, I want to talk about that whole your debunk. By the way, has your Instagram page suddenly seen a huge spike in growth or something?
No.
Or has it always been this big?
I'm not sure. Like it's been
250K, I think something.
Yes,
it's always been more.
Like it was like it's been 1.5 years that I've got like all these subscribers.
Okay.
But I am making content on YouTube, on other platforms. Like I did complete my masters in 2016, and from 2016 onwards I did not join anything. Just after that I have started to make I joined an academy. I'm not sure if you're aware of Vedantu, an academy. These edtech companies, basically these are edtech companies. So I joined them for a few years, and alongside I was doing my YouTube journey. I was basically teaching students like international students biology, normal one-to-one coachings. Then after I joined an academy, Vedantu, these things, and after that I made my own channel, which is Bioshala. So initially it was regarding 11th and 12th biology for NEET preparation. So after that, like so many things have happened after that. Like terminally, the fundamental idea had always been to communicate science. Be it from communicating it from the perspective of, like, I take Avatar movie and I created a 3-hour lecture on that, like how this particular planet, which particular gravity, how they are doing what, like how come they have 6 legs in spite of 4 legs.
How evolution would have occurred there on that planet. You think like that,
So basically I was making sure, be it from the perspective of movies, be it from the perspective of books, be it from the perspective of these reels, these Babalogs, I try to communicate science. I use them as an anchor basically to communicate science. The fundamental principle is not to debunk them, because debunking is nothing, like it's just a consequence. The fundamental idea again is to make sure that the science is being delivered in a right fashion.
If you say the fundamental goal is not to debunk, then the point I was going to bring up probably will not have much value here. But what I wanted to say was, in case it was debunking, I always appreciate any individual who promotes science and uses rationality and thought instead of just saying blindly follow or believe something. Because that's very, very important. Whether we're talking about veganism or anything right now, I think critical thinking and rational thinking are very, very important. But I wanted to say one critique that I personally feel. That is, when you are attacking these Babas, in a way, if you are to phrase it that we're attacking these Babas, I would consider that as low-hanging fruit. In the sense that it is quite easy to debunk them, because what they spout is complete, utter nonsense for the most part. Like, they will say something that is so obscene and enlarged. It is so easy to point out the flaws, and that's what I feel. But that's why I wanted to invite you, a person of your mind, on this show, because I want you to, if you can, explain why you may feel veganism is wrong, or because I don't know if you're. What do you want to say? Yeah.
No, I don't. First thing, I don't feel veganism is
okay. You don't.
Bad. Like I don't entertain the idea. Allow me to explain.
Sure.
Give me 1 or 2 minutes. First and foremost thing, for a person of your mental stature, these debunking videos are so obvious. Okay, fine. So these are so low-hanging fruits. Why this person is wasting his time to communicate to those people who already know what is right and what is wrong? But believe me, in North India, there's lakhs and lakhs of people who actually believe wholeheartedly these bullshit claims.
That is true.
And the point, the content that I'm making is not for people like you. For you, I have another content as well, like where I actually dive into too much detail, too much science, like right from the G protein couple receptor, like how these things are happening. So what is the efficacy, like each and everything. But since most people, I totally agree with your point as well, that in India, if you're saying anything against Baba or religion, that gets you popularity, no doubt about it. But saying that it is low-hanging fruits, and that's why, and most people would know the difference between Chandragrahan is being caused by a Rahu just engulfed the moon or sun, and people wholeheartedly believe it.
Right.
So that's why. So that's my just a take.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Second point that I wanted to talk, because this is like literally we are discussing these things. So the second point that there are several disclaimers. So disclaimer number one would be, I actually want to surrender as far as this particular discussion is concerned. I told you before as well that indeed I don't think that I will be able to utter a single argument today that you have never heard before. I don't like, it's a fact. Second thing, so what will I try to do? I'll try my level best to come up with some kind of nuanced perspective that can help me to understand. Like, how come if I'm able to see and able to agree with each and every point that you're saying, in spite of that fact, I did not change. What is the thing that makes a person change permanently as far as the veganism is concerned? I want to explore this idea with you.
That's actually a very honest statement coming from a non-vegan. Usually people will not make statements like that.
I'm not sure. I have never talked to one, but it's in this perspective, basically. Yeah. So just I wanted to seriously, I want to discuss these things. So,
fair enough.
So we are going to start from this particular idea.
Go on.
So the very first point, I'm very fascinated with your journey as well, right? Although we are in Mumbai right now, and Mumbai has a very special place, not at the level of geography, but at your mental level, because 26/11 was the day.
You have seen all my videos now, have you?
Yes.
I did not know this.
Okay. So mentally, this Mumbai 26/11 plays so much bigger role in your life as far as the difference of taking that final step in your life of being vegan and not being vegan.
That is true.
I wanted to know the thing that you do when you're communicating to different schools, different people, including this talk, podcast, and all these things. There, I think that you evoke person's prefrontal cortex where logic, rationality, and these things reside. You ask person, first be truthful to yourself. Don't hide behind those curtains. You want to defend blindly veganism. I will not do that. But alongside, I would want to know if the changes that has happened in your life were not because of your prefrontal cortex, not your reasoning, but something that you actually deeply felt. Your mammalian brain, basically, your limbic system. The way you actually mentioned, since these videos are in public domain, hence I'm
fair enough. By all means, ask me anything.
Hence I'm asking you these. I'm bringing up these topics.
Sure.
Otherwise, if you do not want me to, please let me know.
You are allowed to literally ask me anything, including. You know what? I'm not going to make the statement, but anything means anything. That's how honest. See, if I call myself an activist, I believe that someone who calls themselves that should be willing to undergo any kind of rigorous questioning. Else, I also just become someone who wants to put on a facade, just portray a particular image, and then when the difficult questions come up, oh no, sorry, I can't take them. That shouldn't be the case, right? If I truly say I'm representing a cause, then people have the right to question the cause I represent and me wholeheartedly. So yes, please go for it.
So the premise is this. If for you, the changes that has happened were because of your limbic system, your emotions, your because you felt so bad at visceral level that it was somehow so appalling to you to even consider in your future life to see yourself as a meat eater.
That is true.
On the other hand, what I see in your public domain, you're constantly trying to evoke the rational part or the reasoning part of people, which is the prefrontal cortex, basically. And I think till the time I'm using my prefrontal cortex, because I was also trying to deal with these questions, like why these things are not touching me. I totally agree at the level of it's their right not to get killed, be it in the name of religion, be it in the name of anything. They don't deserve it. In spite of this fact, I am still fighting with myself, and such a bizarre thing, like I can fight with myself with my prefrontal cortex and reasonings, and the reasonings are not helping me to take this leap. So what if, please, and I would also urge you to go to not give me some kind of, because I have seen, let's say 95% of your content.
Holy crap. Okay.
So
I'm honored, man. I'm honored to hear that you have seen that. Okay.
But like I had to. So I would want you to let me take to that day as well. I'm also going to mention some other things as well. So maybe, because I don't care about other people. Seriously, I'm being honest.
Okay.
I want to know from you. I want to know that what actually happened in those couple of days, or at least 2 or 3 incidences that we'll discuss.
Sure. You're now asking about the incident during 26/11 Mumbai terrorist attack. Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm asking in a very specific context because I don't want you to just repeat it. I have heard it. I want to know like what was happening in your brain.
Okay.
What was happening in your, like, how come person who's like when the movie My Name is Khan, right? Like, and
I haven't seen it,
but the phrase is my name is Khan and I'm not a terrorist, and you used this as your introduction. My name is Arvind, I'm a Brahmin and I eat meat.
Oh yeah, that was me even 11-15 years ago. Yeah.
So these are the same basically parallel dialogues. I'm a Brahmin and I eat meat. This is how you used to introduce yourself.
Yes.
How come person of that mental, when somebody says like I do like, why do you eat meat? Like, I am stopping eating meat. Why don't you? Like, okay, go ahead. Like, have more meat for me. These were your like direct statements. I want to pick your brain. I want to take me to those days. I want to hear those new answers that can help me. I don't know, but maybe.
Fair enough. So a couple of points I want to just clarify here before I proceed any further. When you're asking me to take you back to those days, are you asking me to describe in detail, vividly, the feelings I was going through?
Yes.
Because when you go through such heavy emotions, the rational part just shuts down. There is no rational thinking anymore.
My fundamental point is, you were able to take that leap because of your limbic system. I am not able to take that leap because of my prefrontal cortex.
So here's the thing. The leap that I took was not necessarily because of my limbic system alone. Although granted, it did help set in certain values within me. So I'll phrase it like this. So like I said, we are now combining philosophy with biology, because that's where ethics is born. And human morality cannot merely come from just my feelings alone, just rationality alone. We need to have somewhere along the line, they merge into one. So let me take you along the path exactly as to what happened. You're first for me to talk about the incidents that happened when 26/11 were transpiring here in Mumbai, or about when I used to be... That's the first thing you want me to talk about?
Basically, what was like when you got to know that they are coming here, like in Chennai.
So what happened was exactly around that time, I was with a few friends in a park, and me and them were chilling and talking. And in that same park, there were students of our same school, and some of them you can say are pretty much like rowdies, goons, and gundas. They behave that way. You know how some students are bullies, right? So around 10 students suddenly walked up to me and my friend. We were sitting here. There's 3 of us sitting here, and there were like 10 of them. And one of them came close to my friend, close proximity, and just began talking a bit roughly and rudely. And just things were going casually back and forth. And I was actually just talking to them nicely. And out of nowhere, this one big guy, giant fellow, gets up and just slaps my friend across the face, like really hard. he's yelling something in Tamil like, how dare you curse my friend over there? And I don't think my friend actually said or did anything. And after saying that, I could see my friend's eyes beginning to water. Now, granted, as a young boy who was, even back then I was 6'1" or 6'2", but at least now I weigh 85, 90 kgs, bro. You can't tell, but I do. You seeing me in real life. I'm huge, right? I'm gigantic in real life. But back then I was only like some 65 kgs, like a literal skeleton. So I was scared to throw a punch. Just a tall, weak guy. What can I do? And then he slapped my friend again. And my friend, he began to cry. The fact that I could not defend my friend, and I could be next in line to get beaten up, but they didn't. They just pushed us all away and we just left the park. Sometimes you get this, you asked me to speak about the limbic system. So the first feeling there, a feeling of despair, hopelessness, and the feeling a human gets when they think they're being treated unfairly. That is a very sick feeling you get in the pit of your stomach, to know that you could be next. Right? You're watching one of your pals getting beaten up in front of you, knowing you could be in line next, and that you can't do anything to stop it. And that the people there are merciless and they're doing it just to get a kick out of it. And when you put yourself in that position, which what I felt, when you're a victim of bullying or harassment or anything, it sucks. I don't know the exact chemicals that are going on in my brain, you would know probably, but the emotions I felt were fear, sadness, hopelessness, and a feeling of just, I think only a human probably can feel this the most. Injustice is the word. There's this one, I don't know how to describe that feeling. It just leaves
that is the point. Like, true, I totally agree with your point as well. And how about, because I suppose, please correct me if I'm wrong, this is not the very first time that has happened in your life. Maybe when you came back from America, basically, you saw beggars for the very first time. And the feeling that, how can a person live like this? Like, let me get something from my parents and give it to them. And in extension to this idea as well, like, I am self-sustained right now. But if I just take a look back in my life when I was, let's say, 14, I am eating meat. But somehow some people convinced me and I got to know, fine, this is totally wrong. I went to my father, he actually slaps me. And this, I'm just not taking my name, but this is a real story. Like, you are getting food that is more than enough for you. What do you think? Like, because I want to discuss this at two levels.
This scenario.
I'm just one more moment, because just to set the pathway for the forward conversation. I also want to understand there are several independent questions as well. This is one of them. How one person, depending upon their immediate vicinity, how this particular person can do everything that is possible in his, like, in his power, basically. And I'll try my level best to discuss the population level as well, like policy level, population level, because there are two independent things. Sometimes people just confuse these two things and like take the argument from here and they put it there.
Right.
But right now I'm very specifically asking you that this thing, okay, fine, that I'll come back to that. Like, please, can you give answer to this particular? I could not find answers to this boy who is 14 with father, went to father to ask for, like, can we change the dinner today?
As in, he's asking for meat or against meat? Like, what is
he's asking for, like, he wants to become a vegan.
Oh, he wants to be a vegan?
He wants to become vegan.
Okay.
He's asking his father, like, can we not eat chicken in the dinner? Because he does not have any saying in the family
of
what
course.
to eat in the evening or not. And he does not have money. He does not have home. He's 14. He's mentally very much capable enough to think. He's able to suffer. He is suffering tonight because he had to eat something. Or so for this person, how can he tackle this particular situation in his life? I could not find answer, hence I'm asking.
Sure. And in fact, I get questions like these when I go to universities, and there is probably usually young girls stand up. I had once a very young Muslim girl stand up and say to me, like, sir, I agree with everything you say. I want to be a vegan, but if I go back home right now and tell this to my mother and father and my grandparents, they will just laugh, tell me to shut up and mind my own business. And there's literally nothing I can do. What do I do? I looked at her and told her, there's nothing you can do. At this point in time, with us, especially being from India, and we don't get pocket money, or we don't necessarily have like rights per se as how children and many others, it's much more applicable in, say, like a country like USA. You can't slap your child like that and get away. You can't. But in India, in fact, I will go as far as saying in certain Western countries it's a bit too lenient, I would say. I would make the statement. But in India, we know how we are as an Asian country. This is how it works here. At this point in time, you can't do anything. So I told that student and many other students, and even the person in your example, you have to study, get a job, move out, and then decide what you want to do in your life. Because as an Indian stuck in the normal Indian family system, at that point in time, you can't do anything. Does it suck? Yes, it sucks. Did I face such similar things in my childhood? Yes, I did. I got a job, and I'm more privileged because I'm a man. For women, it's not that easy to get a job and then just move out. They are facing even harder stuff. So what you say is true, and I don't have a solution to that. But what was the point of that question? I'd like to understand.
Because I came up with 2 or 3 independent questions, and somehow it just popped into my mind. I asked, I digressed basically. Let me come back to the fundamental idea which we were discussing, was regarding how only, I think, like, this is my inference from your videos, that you actually changed because of the feelings. Right? We are going back to that particular idea.
So
the thing, because I am unable to feel, or when I try to just constantly argue myself with myself, maybe I can go for, let's say, for next couple of months. But because it's not coming from the central part of me, it is not becoming my identity, I'll fall back.
Sure. Let me just comment on that if I can right now. It doesn't have to be a central part of your identity. You don't have to go about even calling yourself a vegan, because it's not the words that count, it's our actions that count. Because at the end of the day, I can call myself anything, but if I am still behaving in a particular immoral or wrong way, what's the difference, right? Labels mean nothing. Our actions mean everything. Do you agree with that statement?
Agree.
So with that being said, first of all, when you say that you don't feel, again, are you talking, since I'm so happy I'm talking to a science communicator, are you talking right now about your prefrontal cortex, or are you talking about your limbic system? What are you talking about right now?
For myself, I'm unable to evoke my limbic system. I'm merely talking from the perspective.
Let me tell you something. We'll go to your limbic system if it's all right with you a little later. No, I can try methods to evoke it today, and we will definitely do that. Okay, I have something planned for you. In fact, I do. Don't worry. But before you even go to your limbic system, I want to ask you something. You consider yourself to be a logical and a rational person, right?
Actually, it's opposite. I know, like, there's this writer, Matt Ridley and Dan Ariely. They are human behavioral biologists and fundamental, like, science communicators as well. The thing that I ended up with the statement, this is the statement: we are not rational. We are pretty irrational, but we are predictably irrational. We try to sneak away and try to find way just to justify our actions in a retrospective manner in such a way that I want to accept that I am a rational, but I know that I am not a rational, but I can see myself not being rational in these things. So I want to, yes, but I am no. So we are predictably irrational.
Fine, let's leave the rational aside then. Let's just say, how about this word, logically consistent? Would you agree with that term instead?
I would want to, yes.
Yeah, fine. So what I want to say is that before we even approach this, be it from an emotional perspective or even a logic perspective, there is one baseline we have to set. And that is something that you, Ankit, as a human being, have to share with me, some core values about yourself. Like, say, for example, I am Arvind. Some values about myself are that I am an empathetic human being. That's one of the qualities of mine. Okay, that just happens to be one of the traits I have. I am empathetic. And if you ask me, is that based on emotion? Is that based on reasoning? Well, we can talk at length and deduce where it came from, but that is definitely a value that I have. Another value that I have is, again, it all ties down to empathy, because empathy basically means you put yourself in another person's shoes, and then you try to see how the situation will be from their perspective. I'm not trying to, again, approach from a logical place, but I'm just saying this is a value I possess. Now, there are some people who have another value, and that is called a sociopathy. That is complete madness. They say, you know what, I get off on hurting everyone and everything around me, and that's just how I am. That's one of their values. So I want to just ask you, forget animals right now, in regards to humans, do you possess any kind of values such as empathy or kindness, or say that idea that I should be decent towards other humans? Like, do you have such kind of core values with you?
Unfortunately, I want to be truthful, and I would say no. But I do appreciate and understand what does it mean, like kindness. Even the word, if you say, is coming from the root word kin, means you are merely mimicking how you would behave with your kins, and that becomes kindness as an extrapolation of your kins.
How do we say that in Hindi? How do you say kindness in Hindi though? Pyar? I don't know.
No. Kindness is dayalu. Being
Okay,
dayalu.
so do you know the exact etymology for dayalu?
Daya is the root word for it. Like, and the person who maybe possess this quality is dayalu, and daya is I'm not sure.
Not sure. Okay, no. But the reason why I asked that is because sometimes what we do is we go too deep in a subject that we don't need to go deep in. The etymology of kindness there is not necessarily relevant to the point.
I was just trying to say a larger statement, and the larger statement is that I am able to see these words as they are. But when I try to ask myself, am I being kind? And the answer comes, maybe not. Am I like, I don't know, like my value system is, I understand, I can tell you like this is what does it mean. Do I feel pain or so feel bad when somebody slaps a person who did not deserve it? Sometime I feel bad, sometime I don't. I'm not consistent with
but that consistency may be depending on situation. Maybe you are there to witness it. Maybe sometimes you don't witness it. Maybe you already had ill feeling towards the person who's getting slapped. Regardless, my point is this. Right now, you conduct yourself in society in a particular way. And I presume that this may be because the laws are enforced or not. You are a non-violent human being towards other humans who are non-violent to you. I don't know if it's because of laws or because you choose to be so, or because of societal construct, but you are, right? Just you are.
I'm telling you so that we have more context. I am that because I do not, it's as simple as that. For most people, I guess this is it. Like, I don't want those pains to inflict on me. And like, I won't do to you those things, and in reverse, I am expecting you not to do those things.
So basically, the statement you're saying is do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. Like, basically, okay, that's a good statement to say. So let's now attach that value to Ankit right now. Ankit has this value, right? So we first have to discover, is there any value in Ankit that is like, if you, Ankit now tells me right now, you know what, bro, let this world burn and die. You know who's Jeffrey Dahmer? You might. Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. I feel that way, right? But you know who's Jeffrey Dahmer, right?
Yes,
the cannibal, yeah. So obviously there are people like that. Like, there are psychopaths in society, sociopaths, psychopathic people exist. But you right now just said a very wonderful trait right now. Let's attach that to you right now. Say, as of now, Ankit has this trait. And he is willing to apply this on fellow humans. Would it be fair if I say not because of law, not because if he doesn't apply this, he'll get punished, but because this is genuinely a trait of Ankit? Will that be a fair statement? Okay, fair enough. Now, however, you find it at times hard to apply the same trait towards non-human animals. Would that be a fair statement as well? Okay, so you have a trait, and this trait is able to, for example, there are some men, they will say, you know what, I can apply this trait as well. You know to whom? Only my race. Other races, screw them. A racist. Some men say only to men. Women below me, misogynist. So there are people at one point, that trait, even if it's a positive one, which I think we can label it as positive because it is in our human contract, it can be considered as positive trait, right? Because it does not negatively affect the well-being of another individual. In that regard, I'm stating it. So with that being the case, some people have positive traits, but it only goes so far. So after a certain point, that's a barrier. Then for you, maybe it applies to all castes, all religion, all race, all humans. Maybe you are one of those people who is not a discriminatory human being at all. I'm assuming probably you're not a misogynist or a racist or any of those things. But the moment it now comes to the species barrier, boom, we hit a blockade. And you are confused. Like, there is this guy called Arvind. He's able to be empathetic towards animals. He's able to share the same value that do unto others as done unto yourself, even towards chickens and pigs and cows. But I can't. Why? That's the question we have to focus on right now. If we can first, before going to your limbic system, using the prefrontal cortex, what do you see in a human being that you do not see in an animal, that you feel that this value of yours cannot be put onto them? Or inverse, what do you see in an animal in excess that is not there in a human, that you feel that this value need not be shared with animals? Do you get my question structure?
I totally get it.
Yeah. Just think, let's ruminate on that for a bit. Yeah.
I totally get it. And if I'm thinking it right now, most probably I am able to come up with the argument. Not argument. This is what it is. This is what it is. That maybe if I do something wrong with a human, he may inflict some kind of a pain on me. But I think that this chicken may not be able to.
That is one. Okay, let's note that down. One point. Okay. Should we address it one by one?
Would be better, because I think better in one by one fashion.
Fair enough. Now, that is a fair distinction you're making. But however, you could probably at times in your life find yourself even earlier in the future in a position where you could potentially take advantage of a human being. Could be a child, cannot do anything back to you. Could be an elderly person, cannot do anything back to you. Or maybe you're in a place at night where it's dark, no CCTV cameras, one elderly lady with a lot of jewelry is walking. You could maybe push her down, take the jewelry and go home and be rich. But you still choose not to, even though that human cannot. Notice I'm now at what you said, that maybe this person could harm me back, which is why I choose not to harm them. But I am now putting in a scenario where there is a human, a vulnerable human being, could be an elder, could be a child, could be anybody, but you still would not harm them. So that means that logic is
I agree. And I think there I am scared of the extended person that like exists in this either law or their siblings or family.
But let's take a hypothetical where we know, like I told you, it's alone, it's dark, no police, no CCTV, nothing. Like, of course, you and me both don't believe
I'm not getting something out of it.
Sure,
like if maybe if I have, let's say, my child at home who is crying and like has some kind of a terminal disease and I need money, I most probably kill that old lady.
Exactly, but see what's happening right now. You are now creating a circumstance in which you have to justify. I am saying you're now doing it just for fun, not for survival of yourself or the well-being of your family. Just for, in the most colloquial way, for shits and giggles.
Yes.
You would hesitate. See, when you make a statement saying for survival coming into play, I am kind of, I don't know how to judge at that point, because you are giving me, because you have every right to be on earth. Your child has every right not to suffer. So I cannot necessarily judge you. But what if someone's doing that behavior just because they can, just because they get a kick out of it, or just because they say, you know what, I can get away, no one can stop me, it's fun for me, haha. In that scenario, would that be justified? Would Ankit be able to justify?
Justified? Definitely no. Definitely. But would I do it? Because if you see, and I think that is also a central part of your life as well, and which is the idea of peers. Be it when you were in America, not accepted in the society, came back here, a little bit of acceptance, but after that you were looking for that acceptance when you were in your college and somebody said that, like how come like such a weak guy unable to eat meat, and after that you, I don't know, tell me, like because you wanted to fit in the society, you first tried it and after that it like latched on because of taste.
Now, before I answer that question, I do want to revert back to that example I gave. I had asked you at that.
I'm in the same scenario. I'm giving you the same answer in the same trajectory. Why? Because there as well, the idea of the near vicinity, the circumstances for me right now, because there I would say, because I could inflict pain to a chicken and in return I was getting a taste, I'm using my prefrontal cortex. If I ask myself right now, I don't have any right to do that as well. Somehow I am able to deceive myself as well. And
no, don't worry, bro. I'm here for a long time. We'll talk through it all. My point is, can we go back to that example though? Because I want to see what you did was.
Just remind me that.
Sure. The example was that I'll make it very clear. There is a vulnerable human being, could be an elder, could be a child. They happen to be in a complete discrete location where there are no CCTVs, no one's around except for the next 10 kilometer radius.
I'm not getting.
Wait, let me finish it. Except Ankit, and Ankit's in the same scenario he is in right now, not where his child is suffering. Would you like a pillow?
Because of my conditioning.
Would you like a pillow for your back?
No.
You're good.
Because of my conditioning, maybe I won't do it.
Okay, so then let's talk about that. You initially said that you have a particular value in you that is do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. That is one thing. Then there is, of course, I agree, social conditioning, which is not necessarily based on logic. We're just programmed to keep doing things that way. So we have to pick it. Is it the value or is it the conditioning? Exactly. We have to understand this.
Time to time basis, because
But you know your heart of hearts, man.
Seriously, I'm telling you that I will not do it. For a bottom line, I'm telling you, I will not do it.
Okay. Then is it wrong to attribute?
But I would like to explore these ideas from the ethical perspective as well, from the biological and ethical perspective as well. In spite of me saying, okay, yes, indeed, I will not do it. In spite of that fact, that is not being reflected in my real life.
No, but in this particular scenario I gave, I'm again pretty sure that you're not going to be pushing down an elderly person or a child and grabbing money from them, right? And that's what I'm again asking you. Does that value come from conditioning, or does it come from your values? As you stated before, you will not harm others because you don't want them to harm you. Just that's my question. Just which one is it though?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. Fair enough. You're not sure. Let us assume that it is coming from your the values you're having.
And if we are taking the axiom that for me to be very consistent as far as my logics are concerned, I don't think like I do consistent with my logics as well.
But I'm telling you, we will come to that. What I have to do is this: I have to set up a bunch of questions and take you along that path. Because if we keep deviating from that path, we will never reach the solution that I'm trying to...
The same thing that you have already done, I have been with you in your videos in the same, whether they were your 1 hour long lectures, whether
but you have asking... me in real right now. I'm in the flesh in front of you, not buffering on YouTube. So what we can do is just play along with me right now for say the next 10 minutes. Just play along this thing. Okay. So you said that you will... The question was simple. The first thing was your barrier stops at the species barrier. You are I'm just guessing, and you can agree with me, you're probably not a casteist, someone who hates based on religion, race, or gender. I don't think you're that kind of a person.
I am not sure, but okay. But we'll play along for that.
Let's play along for that. Okay, right. But when it comes to the species barrier, there is a problem. You are unable to give that same value of do unto others as you will have done unto yourself onto them. When I asked you why, you said it's because when I do bad things to a human, there's a potential the human could attack me back, and therefore it is done out of self-interest and not necessarily out of altruism or empathy, which is a fair statement. That's why I then put you in a scenario where the individual, there is no way in this hypothetical of the individual to ever get revenge on you. At that point, would you not do it? If you say no, you won't do it, then you are clearly speaking out of your values. Because again, or maybe the cameras are rolling and you can't say something illegal on camera. I don't know what it is, but you don't have to worry. But the point is that you are saying you won't do that because of your values, right?
I won't do it. Whether it is because of my value system or not, I don't know.
You're not sure. Okay, fine. You won't do it. Then making the statement saying that when it comes to the species barrier, you don't hurt them because they cannot attack you back now becomes an illogical statement. You get my point, right? Because you would not attack a human even when it comes to a position where you can get away with it.
I can see each and every time I'm merely acting as a person. If I'm able to dominate the situation, I'm doing that. And wherever I feel that there could be consequences, I'm taking a step back. And like this is happening. Like I'm not saying like this I would want to, but this is happening.
So then I'll have to ask you some questions. It might be a little bit slightly uncomfortable, and of course the questions are bizarre because even if you were to answer them positively, then it could be legal issues and stuff. But I'll just try to phrase it in a nice way, and if you're comfortable, you answer them, else we'll skip out this section. My point is then, what's the worst thing you've done to a human being, Ankit? What's the worst thing you've done to a human being?
Beat them
physically, like a punch, like somewhere in the face, you hit them something. That's the worst thing you've done to a human being at all. Nothing more than that. Was the opponent a male, the person you hit? Not even a female? Okay, you have never punched a female. You're a decent guy. Why are you acting like you're an evil person? Such a decent human. Now, what's the worst thing you've done to animals? Maybe not with your own hands, but you've paid people
like
to do.
In laboratory settings.
You have, okay.
Mice, zebrafish. And that is a separate section that I wanted to explore.
Definitely. And not to mention, you have paid people money to do horrible things to animals on your behalf. So you can.
No, I have done it.
No, I'm not talking about the animal testing part right now. I'm talking now about the meat, dairy, and egg industries. You pay people money, so they on your behalf they can do that to the animal. So already we are seeing a distinction here. When it comes to humans, you are saying, I don't know, but you are not a sociopath. You are not a murderer. You didn't even attack a woman. The worst thing, I don't even know the scenario in which you punched the guy. Maybe he could have been at wrong. Maybe he pissed you off continuously for a week and finally, I don't know. I don't even have to go into that. But my point is, the worst you have done to humans is punch somebody in the face. But you have done far worse things to animals, right? So when you say that, no, I am not in control, where it is good for me, I do take advantage of it, doesn't seem like that. Seems like you are in control.
And indeed, that is the point, that I'm too much in control, that I know and I can decide. See, there I'm separating myself. I'm merely buying this egg from the market. Neither do I have to go into that particular scenario where the chickens are being killed and being put into cages in such an appalled situations. And I'm being truthful again and again. I'm thinking in a real time. That's why I'm speaking a little bit slowly. I have created different barriers for myself as well, so that I can do this thing. I can eat egg as well. But when I try to think that it is right, I say it is wrong.
Okay. Do you ever demand of others who also have similar barriers, say in regarding other issues, to not have barriers? Do you make that demand to people?
Can we have a specific case?
Like, say, for example, you witness, again, your content is mostly science-based. It's not based on stuff that happens necessarily like society, like, say, issues that the people are suffering from, or a particular scenario in which where a terrorist, say, came and killed a human being, or say a woman was raped or something. Do you post videos on such topics as well?
Yes.
You do at times, okay, you do. And usually when it comes to, in regards to a human victim who has suffered, you do take a stance on it, and I believe you do give out a message to your audience, right? So usually what is that stance? Is it on behalf of the victim or the victimizer, and what message do you give to your audience?
Yeah, victim. And recently itself, like the thumbnail that I made for Delhi dogs, the decision that recently came out, I made like, I and quote hate dogs, but because I hate dogs, I hate is as in like I do not like them. Okay, fine. Like, I don't have to like them just to make sure their rights are not being challenged, right? Okay?
Exactly.
But apart from that, that the same thing I was trying to like create a message out of my video, that in spite of this fact that me at my personal level do not enjoy the company of dogs, neither do I like dogs. I would want a foot away from them. I would always want to. But in spite of this fact, that does not mean that their rights can be challenged just because I don't like them.
Okay, and what rights do they have, and why do you feel they have rights, Ankit?
I come it from actually pure biological point of view, or regarding the pain receptor, and that's it, because I could not find a second answer. Because if you remember the same thing that I said, that I do not want those pains to be inflicted on me, that I would not.
But you said that to humans, not towards animals. When it comes to animals, you are hitting a block.
There I'm utilizing my prefrontal cortex, that this is supposed to be done. This is how it is. So it does not matter. Even if I want to, tomorrow I would want to eat a dog, I will not, because of this conditioning that I got to know you, I got to see your videos, I saw other videos as well, and that somehow inculcated the intellectual ideas into my mind that I cannot infringe the rights of them as well. And there, because it's 1-to-1, as far as the dog is concerned, I'm not able to do it, but as far as the egg is concerned, I have separated myself too much from them, that I without any. I'm telling you that I'm deceiving myself and like I'm eating this particular egg, and I'm with this fundamental axiom and statement. I would want to find out the what are those things that I need to think, I need to feel, I need to come up with some kind of argument, so that I can actually take that final step. That okay, fine, now this is full and final. I won't be able to take dairy and eggs as well.
Oh, so you don't eat meat anymore?
Well, I eat meat, but I don't even remember that if this particular year I ate or not.
Okay.
That lesser frequency.
Okay. But you do consume dairy and eggs?
Yes.
And you consume honey, I believe.
Do I consume?
Honey.
Honey as in like, I don't remember if this year I did. I like never paid attention.
You do purchase products that are made of leather, wool and silk?
Indirectly. Without thinking about it.
You're thinking about it. Okay, just a product. Okay, fine. So you said you want answers to those questions.
Yes.
And I can give you answers to those questions, both from a limbic system, a prefrontal cortex system, and overall of an application as to what you can do in your life to finally make that final step. But what I need for you to do on that is you have to follow along with me if I'm putting forth something like a thought process, a game, just to think about. We cannot deviate each time from it and go. Because that's where then we get. I understand you've made it very clear exactly what it is you're asking of me, and I will provide that to you. And again, approaching it from a rational sense, the point is this. Like you said, you have managed to convince yourself when it comes to dairy and eggs that it's okay if I ignore this. However, you don't even know whether you last ate meat or not. Can I first understand why? And earlier, let's say a couple of years ago, you used to buy meat from the shops, right?
Meat shops, yes.
You used to. But now you don't last recall when. What is the reason exactly for this change in your first? Like, where did this even come from, and how did this get implemented in your life?
As a consequence.
Of what?
Of knowing things.
Like?
That the thing, like seriously, like as far as the meat is concerned, most probably the thing that I've seen this particular change in me in this particular year.
Mm-hmm.
Because there I was able to watch it.
Watch what exactly?
Like when I was purchasing the meat.
Mm-hmm. Which kind of a shop was it? Was it a goat slaughterhouse or chicken slaughterhouse?
Goat, mostly, but like I used to buy chicken from there.
What
but
did you witness?
But I could see goats hanging without skins.
But the head was no longer there.
No, head is not.
So you just saw the carcass upside down hanging with the tail hanging down like that.
Yes.
And that's what affected you the most.
Not like I'm just retrospectively trying to think like how come I was eating meat comparatively frequently, but somehow this particular year I did not do it.
So
Why?
So what you're saying is it wasn't a conscious decision then. What you are right?
Yes, it was not a conscious decision.
Then let's compare. If it's not a conscious decision, let's leave that out. I assumed it was a conscious decision. Okay, then let's not what's talking about that. Okay, fine. So my question will then be to you again. You see, you, as you say, are lying to yourself. You are justifying certain things to yourself. But again, I want to understand from your perspective, is there any other stance you take in your life, say in regards to purchasing some other kind of commodity or taking part in some other kind of event or action because you feel that it violates the rights of human beings? Is there any other position like that you take at all? No, you just live life. Yes. You have never thought about the consequences that could happen before to produce something or that even comes after? Never. Of course, if something is illegal, you'll stay away because why the trouble for you? But apart from that, you just don't think.
No, I never thought.
You never have thought so far?
No.
Okay. Have you ever suffered in your life severely in any way?
Mentally or physically?
I would like to talk about physical first. Yes, that later will lead to mental suffering and physical suffering. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have been physically harmed. Like, if I can just explore that with you, if you're comfortable, what happened to you and when and how?
Like, from the disease perspective or physical harm, or like I broke my arm? Or
actually,
like,
both are valid.
Okay, fine. Both. Like
first, okay, disease, and you broke your arm. You got an injury.
Yes.
Okay, and how did that? How old were you back then?
How old was I? 2015 or so. So maybe 25.
You're an adult. Okay, fine. And how did it feel when it happened?
Felt pain.
Not much. Just horrible. Like
not horrible. I don't know why, but like less. Not that great pain. Although like it was a 6 or 8 month plaster was there, but I.
Okay. Yeah. So that is the most in terms of physical pain when it comes to an accident you have felt. What other kind of physical pain have you gone through?
Physical pain, like this is like when cow.
Yeah, I've been noticing your head shining since you came. So what is that? Yeah, what is that?
This is the cow, like the back leg of it. Like
she kicked you.
Yes, I was like this much, like just at the height of when it is going to flick me like that.
And that's the worst you have gotten on your head.
Yes.
You have never had ever feelings of someone is out there trying to harm you, scared to go to a particular place because someone might kill you. You have never experienced those emotions yourself, which is a good thing. Society has done you good because you shouldn't be experiencing those things. And I'm happy that you have lived a life that is comfortable enough that, I don't know again the difficulties that you've gone through, I'm not trying to invalidate them, but you have lived a life happy enough where you did not have to run for your life ever. You never had to hide thinking that if someone heard you breathing, they would then hack you to death. You had never had to go through these things. Neither have I, by the way. Of course, when it comes to physical torment and bullying, yes, I have been at the bad receiving end of that for quite a lot in my life. When you haven't suffered, it is difficult to empathize with others. Have you heard of this statement where they say, like, many times men have a difficult time empathizing with women because men don't go through what women go through? Do you agree with that statement?
I agree.
You do agree. Now, why do you agree with that?
I can see this thing in my family, in someone else's family, that how the rights, like you can go out at 7 p.m. but your sister cannot. Like so many things like that in the same. If in a family they have money to teach only one child, only the boy child will get the education. So many things. So daily examples in North India is like.
Okay, so because you've witnessed these things, you do understand, and you understand that even though you are not a woman, you are not at the receiving end, you are still able to empathize. And if that person you're empathizing with, does it have to be your sister to empathize, or can it be with any woman?
Can we even call it empathize? Because empathize means somehow you're evoking your mirror neurons and able to see, feel pain. Okay, fine. I cannot see this. I cannot, like those kind of feelings. Like, don't you think empathize is this empathy?
Necessarily it means there can be degrees of empathy.
But yeah, degree of empathy, and I always come from the intellectual idea of it. Okay, this is wrong. Like, although I am not feeling bad viscerally, but I can see what is happening in the society right now, and I can say this is wrong.
But how do you come to that conclusion?
Because of the value system of the society that inculcated in me, that I think that are mine.
Could you just share a few of those
the
values?
Same thing, the same exact thing, that if my sister is not getting, if she's asked, like, can she go to trip with her female friends, she'll not get the permission. On to the other hand, I'll get the permission. I equate them, those two. I'm his child, she's her child. In spite of this fact, I'm getting all the, like, permissions and all those things, and it means that they are supposed to be together. This is my axiom. They are supposed to be together at the same level. Both of us supposed to given equal opportunities, but somehow one child is not getting equal opportunity. Hence, it's wrong because of this axiom that they both are supposed to be equal.
Okay. So does this empathy, if I can use that word again, you don't have to go into the nitty-gritty, but let's just call it as empathy right now, what you feel towards your sister, let's just say it's called empathy. Does that empathy stop only with your sister, or do you think you're capable of extending it to any woman in our society, just to acknowledge the fact that they too might be going through unfairness and injustice?
Yes.
You can.
Yes.
You can extend it. Now, when you extend this, you do notice that apart from the example that you presented, there are far more worse things that women face in our society.
Yes.
Especially in terms of violence, physical violence, like acid attacks and stuff like that. You are able to empathize with that as well. Even though it is not your sister, even though it is not you, to a degree, you're even able to at least call it out as wrong. And you are able to prevent yourself from taking part in those actions, not just because it's illegal, but because it goes against those preset values you have with you. Is that a fair statement to make? So far, we're doing good.
Yes.
Okay. Now comes again the same question we started with. So Ankit is able to actually show quote unquote empathy. Let's not again get into the nitty gritty. Quote unquote empathy. I know it's hard for you being a biologist, but yeah. What other term would you like me to use?
No, a term as in, like, was that feeling automatically coming within you?
But forget the feeling. You came to a conclusion based on a feeling, though. I mean, that you came because you didn't, but you said, I am able, when you say the statement.
Axiom, I said, like, it is because of the axiom.
Can you define the word axiom for me?
Axiom is the non-negotiable statements when you are dealing with some kind of arguments. Axioms are those fundamental statements that we are saying that depending upon this fundamental statement, we are building up our next set of layers of arguments.
What was the axiom you used?
An axiom was like, if this is a parent, he has two children, and they are supposed to be equally treated, as well as they are supposed to be equal. So this was my axiom.
That's your axiom.
Depending upon that, I was building up the next argument. If I'm getting the permission and my sister is not getting the permission, this is wrong. And the same idea extend to the society, or the dog or a chicken or all these animals are concerned. I do understand the philosophy behind the speciation that you're trying to take me towards, but I am telling you that I do agree
But it's not about agreeing alone. It's about understanding, because
and that is the point. That is the part that I want to.
And that's what we're exploring right now, bro. We shouldn't deviate. You're already coming along with me perfectly. So the axiom you first used was that, yes, that is the axiom you used. Fine. And you can empathize with far greater violence happening to even other women in our society, even though they don't happen to be blood related with you, even though you don't happen to know them. When you see what we can call, quote unquote, as an injustice to happening to women, you can very well understand. Okay, fair enough.
Next.
Now, when that similar action, however, is happening, say, like you said right now, to a chicken, a cow, a pig, or a goat, or a sheep, there is something you say to yourself or something you do to block that out of your mind and say, you know what, I just don't have to think about this. And the difference here is not just that there's a violence happening to the animal and you're blocking it of your mind. You are the reason that violence is happening. Now, if, say, for example, there was some kind of injustice or violence happening to a woman or a child in our country, you might even go as far as saying, Arvind, I may feel bad, but here's the truth. I have nothing to do. I am not a perpetrator in that scenario. I am merely, from the axiom I've used previously, coming to the conclusion that that too is an injustice. But here, not only are you agreeing it's an injustice, but you are the one who's fundamentally causing it, right? So that means there is in your mind, you are knowingly or unknowingly having a differentiating factor between humans and animals. There's something either you see special in humans or something you don't see in animals that makes you think that one is greater than the other. And that's what we have to identify, Ankit. I just want you to go along with this game right now for me, okay? I want you to tell me at what point, like let's say, for example, since you're a biologist, let's say, okay, then I just said biologist, but I'm going to give a dumb example. Let's say we had a human being stand here and we had a magic wand. With each flick of the wand, there is one particular organ I can change on that person. And I'm trying to change them into a chicken. Okay, first flick, the nose and mouth becomes a beak. Second flick, they get feathers. Third, chicken legs. Fourth, they get their wings. At which point, at which flick do you say, this human is now killable? That is, at one point, we are now, just like how we cannot say evolution is a spectrum, right? And where does the first human come? We have no idea. When did a teenager become an adult? We have no idea. Like, it's all a spectrum as it goes by. At what point, at which flick of the wrist do you now feel, aha, you know what, my values don't apply to you? Where?
Thank you. Although I found my answer as well. It's regarding thinking and not thinking. I'm like, let me share. The microsecond, if this idea comes to my mind, like I want to ask to myself, or I'm asking myself to think, the moment I say think, I won't do it. But the things are happening when I'm not thinking. Like I just found out this.
That's a habit, basically.
As far as your statement is concerned, the moment you changed his beak, it does not matter from first step to the last step, because right now I'm thinking it does not matter whether it is a human or a chicken. I will not do at any step on this spectrum because I'm thinking.
Okay.
When I'm not thinking, I somehow, how do I do it? I don't know. I would want to find answer to. But when I'm not thinking, when I'm not paying attention, when I'm doing it in a so passive way that it does not even occur to me like I was eating the egg, then I was able to do it. So can you see this thing that depending upon like the thing that you were asking me, I won't be able to
nowhere the spectrum you can.
Nowhere.
Fair enough. Logically, you're being sound. Yeah.
But like the fundamental answer which I just found out is the think point. If you're thinking at any step, you won't take the step next step. But if you're not thinking, if you're doing so, because of your conditioning so passively, you're not even bother about like what was happening to you. You just did it without thinking. Like I found out, but I was just trying to tell you like what I found out as far as I'm concerned.
Regarding the thinking part, what you mentioned right now, first of all, I'm glad you're so honest and agreed on that answer, because people in the spectrum will not know at what point to stop. They'll start saying random answers, but you are very honest in saying, yeah, makes no sense. At no point in the spectrum does it make sense, because
I think like for those people, they will also say somewhat similar thing, but we have so many curtains in front of our eyes. Like we are trying to defend something or defame something. In both conditions, you won't be able to have a fruitful conversation, real conversation. I think that's. But maybe in a room where they both trust each other, they actually deliberately really want to find the answer to. Maybe we can.
Yeah, you're being very
humans
open-minded.
are capable of this thing.
I agree with you. Regarding the word, when you're speaking right now about saying that when I'm not thinking, I don't know what I'm doing. It's not to be harsh, but I have to use a particular word in English. That shows lack of accountability on your side, Ankit. That, like, for example, a kid who's drunk on the road raging, driving like crazy, killing somebody. I wasn't thinking. It's not going to cut it. Now, at that point, he's going to face legal repercussions. This is where veganism is truly a litmus test, to test the moral values of a human being, because you can take part in that violence and get away with it absolutely fine. In fact, not taking part in it like me and speaking up against it like me makes me unpopular. I am an enemy of society. People hate me. You know how many people hope I will just die because of what I do? But that's why veganism is the ultimate litmus test. In many of my lectures, I've asked students when they stand up and say, like, imagine, suppose we can take a time machine and we're going back 300 years ago to North America, where slavery was, you must have seen this example, legal back then. And you had to make a choice back when it was legal. You happen to have been born as a white American in a white supremacist family that's telling you all these wrong values, that these people are inferior to us. What would you have done? Everyone without fail tells me, I would have stopped slavery. Oh, I would have definitely stood up for... My guy, if you would have done that, you would have been vegan before I even lectured here. You don't think that way. You are, like you mentioned, at least you're being honest, socially conditioned to not think. Yes, it is difficult. What do you have to do? We can probably come up with rigorous patterns you can follow. I can write down a diet chart for you. If you are one of those scientific minds, you know, there are some scientists who say that they will eat only one flavor of ice cream till they die, because they don't have to make a choice as to what... You've heard that, right? Very scientific. So you come across as a very scientific mind to me, at least. Someone who is... Are you like me? You have a bunch of whiteboards in the house and you get an idea, you'll go and write on it. Are you like that?
I have like blackboards in my house.
Bro, I have whiteboards and like 15 different colors of marker. I'm like slightly on the spectrum of autism. I don't know if you could tell or not. And I would go and write in different colors. Like when I random, like I wake up in the middle of the night, I have to go to the bathroom. I can make a video on this. I'll run downstairs.
No, that thing, like that thing I write in my Notion, like there are at least 600 or 800 ideas are there.
Exactly. So we're the same. So I can really understand you're talking to somebody, maybe not on your level of knowledge when it comes to science, but I can relate to you completely. But what's happening is when such people are there, I can give you a proper habit and plan to follow.
But
systemically,
like, depending upon, I was here to find answer, like first new answer that I found out, like as far as I am concerned, I found it because of this particular, because things emerges. It emerged.
Yes.
Somehow it clicked.
Okay.
Second thing, like which I wanted to, may I digress?
Please, by all means, go on.
Yes.
You can speak right now, yeah.
No. So, because this particular idea, I want to keep it as a separate section of as far as the limbic and that thing goes. Okay, fine.
To be perfectly honest, we have kind of covered the rational part, because beyond this, I cannot go any more rationally. Like I've told you on the spectrum, it's a spectrum. There is no difference. When you agree it's not, you're just not able to put it into practice.
Yes.
So now you can continue to the next other part. Yeah.
Second part would be, as far as the spectrum goes, I wanted to find out, I want to know, the spectrum goes either from direct inflicting pain, or you are able to see the pain directly. Like that's the identical thing which was happening with me when I'm able to see the pain to a goat, and somehow I was not able to see the pain of a chicken. So I took the chicken eggs. I would want it to, like, for a intellectual exercise perspective only, I want to take it little bit more further. Some examples are, when I was watching you, that like the video where you are explaining each and every, as far as the nutrition, each and every vitamin, each and everything goes, there one doubt occurred to me, which was regarding the packaging and the secondary material we are supposed to use, because the tablet does not have only vitamin B12 or like omega fatty acids or algae oils. It has to have a covering. It has to have a stabilizers. It has, and they may or may not have these anti-vegan ingredients, for lack of better word. So, is there anything that intellectual exercise only? Is there anything that you can do to find out, or even if it is possible to find out in a secondary layer, like this is cotton, okay, this is cotton, but I don't know where the person who was making color of this particular cotton, that particular cotton in the secondary or tertiary level was like somehow some kind of suffering, some kind of was involved or not
towards a human or animal?
Towards animals.
Animals. Okay, that is your query. So I want to first talk about the supplement part, if I can. Miss Candy Crush, if you could please just pass me all the supplements, if I could. My wife's playing Candy Crush, guys. She's seen me talk 10,000 times. She's bored at this point. Oh, you play, babe. Just come and give it to me. And in the box, there is one thing. She literally lives with me, man. You must imagine how much she must be feeling right now. Thank you. So if I want you to just have a look at these. Everything is completely vegan. And these are like mandatory supplements that we vegans have to take, because as you are aware of this, vitamin D and B12 cannot be... how do I open this? 1 second. There it is. And just have a look at this as well. This is Neurokind OD. All of these are 100% vegan, not made from any animal substances. Just want to let you know. And as we're talking right now, just want to inform you on another point that's happening right now. They'll probably be... we're good for now? Okay, yeah. I don't want to change the batteries right now. So, does that answer, first of all, your first question? Take a look. Take a gander. No issues.
No. Okay, I guess one camera is working, is it?
So they're all running right now. He'll come back sometime later, I guess, in 10 more minutes.
But seriously, thank you. I got one answer for myself.
So yeah, vegan supplements are on the market right now, and even
as far as I totally agree, vegan supplements were there, but I was not sure about like if like I was not aware of this. Like somebody is putting the label like vegan.
Oh yes, my friend, there's a lot like this. Yes,
but you have to ask. Like,
absolutely. See, so I don't go to the local pharmacy and buy these. I go and purchase them from Flipkart or Amazon.
And they're over-the-counter purchases?
No. Like I told, I don't buy from a pharmacy, from Flipkart or Amazon. So there is no counter. It's all online. So take your time. Have a look at that first. We'll then proceed to your next question.
Are we supposed to start or after some time?
No. You can continue. Nothing is off right now. That's why you're waiting for that. Huh?
I was waiting for that.
No, bro. I thought you were busy to look at that. No, we can
I was looking at them, but like I was stopping myself.
But in a way, I also got distracted slightly. So your first point was wondering whether... Oh yeah, the next point you mentioned was you were wearing a blue color shirt right now. The chemical used to produce that shirt, maybe that leached onto a pond, went into the waterways, killed a fish over there. Was that what you're saying?
No, I was not saying like I was like again. Of course, it is a spectrum, and this is like.
No, I don't think it's a spectrum here. But first, I'll ask you to phrase your question first. Yeah.
Phrase isn't like the dye which is being used while someone was trying to, like, I know. Okay, fine. This is cotton. And cotton is fine, but I'm not sure about the color. So am I supposed to buy it or not? Or like,
what about the color? Are you not sure? Can I understand?
If during the coloring process, I'm not sure. Like if any animal is being used, like you have to take sometimes some of the insects, and from there you can get some
cochineal
colors,
extract for
like
red.
Sometimes like possible for every thing that we are wearing on.
So let me answer you. As a vegan, of course, I've done my thorough research on this. There are a few colors and a few flavorings that do come from animals. The positive thing is here in India, since we have so many vegetarians who are vegetarian for religious reasons, you know that they will not consume anything from animals, even from, say, like, they will take honey and milk, obviously. But if you say you crushed a red beetle and put it in their biscuit to make it red in color, they will not eat. So that's why in India, we have the green dot and the red dot on the label. So the moment you see the green dot, all the emulsifiers, all the preservatives, and all the other kind of ingredients, that the tertiary ones, not the major ones that are used to create the flavorings, but the other things that are used to combine and keep the product cohesive together, and not to mention also give them a long shelf life, all of those are either synthetically made or plant derived, because this country has a huge population of vegetarians.
I knew it, and I'm pretty sure that your videos are well versed with these ideas. So I will not waste your time with these questions.
Okay.
I would want like to explore new territories as
Can we right now?
Yes.
So now for activating, or if we'll attempt to activate the limbic system, I brought a small exercise here.
Which I like. If you're thinking like you're showing me some videos or some kind of these things, is it?
Yes, that is one of them.
I have seen each of them, like different documentaries, independent videos. I have seen each and everything. Like if you want, you can show me. But like, will you show these things to participants? I mean, to the viewers as well.
So what we'll do in the video is that, since if I were to put the video right overlap while you're watching it on YouTube, YouTube will strike that video down because of graphic content. So what I'll put is that in order to watch the video that Ankit is watching right now, click the link in the description. In the description, there will be a Google Drive link that will take them to see what you're watching. At any time, you are allowed to obviously close the laptop, because I'm not here to compel or force someone to watch something they're uncomfortable in watching. So it's just 3 minutes long.
It's the same thing that you generally
This one is a bit different. So again, it's important for me to give a disclaimer to you. If you're uncomfortable, please don't watch this. Just close the laptop, okay?
Sure.
And this is just for you. I don't have to see it. Just click play, let the volume be at maximum. Yeah.
I'm supposed to just press
space bar and you continue. Yeah. Audience question, huh? Why don't you just speak out loud? Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just want to ask you, when you watched the video, what was your exact thoughts and feelings when you were watching?
When I was watching the video.
The cruelty video,
Okay.
it can either be two things, in my opinion. Are you feeling apathy, like no feelings at all, or have you been
Mild. Very mild.
or is
Mild.
it like have you been desensitized because of your?
No, I have not seen. Like I just mentioned, like I have not been brought up in an environment where I've been desensitized with these kind of acts or videos.
But you said you have done the fish thing, like
Yes.
eye and that.
Yes.
So when you were watching it, like because I made the video, so it is shocking for me to see you not even flinch. So I just had to ask you so that what was going through.
No, you can just give your opinion.
Maybe I'm a psychopath. Nobody. No, seriously.
Clear thoughts that you would like to describe.
Because I have seen these videos, no, but like the yes, I did not connected it. Like I don't think that it could be because of fish, because they are literally half an inch of fish, and like just below the microscope I need to like go in, and inside the retina I had to pick specifically. I need to injure the retina.
Just asking, when you saw them writhing like this, that doesn't affect you in any way? Just asking.
Mostly they don't. Like
When you take a fish out of water, not like a big one, but still.
it is like half an inch fish.
But they still, you can see, if they're under a microscope, you can see the little tails moving up and down, right? And they can see them.
If I
you can
have
see the
to
gills
say-
going open and closing, right? So you can witness the suffering, but it just doesn't. I'm just asking you, you don't feel anything by doing that. And to rats also, you have with your own hands done things to them?
Not only one or two.
One or two, but what did you do?
But like because animal house was being set up when I was in the college, because right now people must be doing on to the daily basis. But as far as I am concerned, like I did one or two.
What did you do to them?
Like this is like we kill them in a very specific manner. Like
Could you be exact, like specific, explicit? Yeah.
so basically, you just make sure this is our atlas and axis where the spinal cord is like being opened, just to make sure that in one particular go, depending upon what you are trying to extract. If let us say like we were working on cobra's venom to find out like if we are giving in a very 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 mild dose the cobra venom, like how it is affecting the different organs, how it is affecting the blood. So for that we need to harvest each and everything. So before that we need to like kill it. So there are two methods: by a chemical method, like we inject something, or second, like we make sure that it snaps, like the spinal cord snaps in one go.
And you never necessarily felt.
It was one or two times. It was more like let me learn. What is it like? It was like it's such an. I told you like it was one or two for mice, like uncountable times for fish.
Okay. Just wanted to get your point of view.
Like let me ask you. You have to go through these videos so many times and again and again, and you are the last person who's supposed to see it, like, right? So how it actually, like how you are, like, such a bizarre question to us, but like how you are able to pull it off, like you are the last person to see them.
Yeah.
And in spite of this fact, you have to go through this process onto almost a daily or maybe hourly basis. So just as like I'm being honest right now,
By all means.
that I thought like these videos will have something for me. Although it's not like that I have been brought up in such kind of ruthless or such kind of environment that I'm not able, and there's no need to empathize. I don't even like this word, because the moment you use the word empathize, what if like there are people like me who does not empathize? Like, does it give them right to cut them? No, na. So I would want this. There has to be a better term, because empathize for me means activation of mirror neurons, so that you are able to feel that pain, and that makes you so like not being with yourself, that you, out of a consequence, you won't be able to do it.
Not necessarily you have to feel to that degree.
No, I'm not saying. That's my exact point, that you don't have to feel.
Yeah. You don't necessarily have to.
Don't have to. If it is somehow working for you, good, great. I'm in a quest to find out what are my things.
From what I can see talking to you so far, again, if it doesn't sound rude, it sounds to me majorly like a lack of accountability. It seems like you have certain habits set into place in your life that are very, very comfortable for you. They've been working for so long. You just routinely repeat them over and over. You have to now make the step. Say, for example, the next 6 months might be uncomfortable for you as you transition completely into being a vegan. I am saying go through that difficult transition, be uncomfortable for 6 months. It's not going to be a happy journey. It's not at all. But what I'm saying is be uncomfortable for 6 months, and before you know it, you develop new habits, you drop the old ones. You will still not have to make decisions by thinking. You are just used to those other new habits, and they just happen to be vegan.
And I think that it will not be a hectic journey for me, seriously.
Okay.
Most probably the thing which is stopping me is the thinking part itself. To govern or to roam around in your life without even thinking about the consequences, or which you are using the word accountability for. The next thing that I would want to touch was regarding, because India is being defined by family. Right, one of the central idea that India is being defined by from your birth up until you die. The one thing which you have to be around is your family, and in India, family does not mean even mother and father. It's a niche joint family kind of a thing. So from that perspective, I wanted to know, and from the relationship perspective, which I was hoping that I would be able to find some of the answer in that particular video when you and. Because it's online, I can use the name.
Which one? I mean, this video?
No. You and Vani, when you were discussing about the family and how in relationship and how.
Right.
That particular video, because it's online.
It's online. Yeah.
That's fine. I was hoping to find answers, but I could not. That's why I'm bringing this down. I will not bring those questions that the answers are already there.
But with specific questions, you can please ask. Yeah.
Yes. So, regarding. Is it only about choosing? Either you can choose your mental peace with the parents or the immediate family, or the rights of an animal, or is there any other way? Or I want your opinion, or like your thinking process. Is there any other way possible?
Could you phrase the two circles? Like, what are the two options and why?
Two options are if you are poking your family members, like, okay, I will not eat this, I will not eat that, like on daily basis you'll have conflicts. You went actually through that particular process. And the thing that I could find out was that you had to firstly you had to get separate when you started to earn. Like, I'm earning right now, I'm going to eat, like I'm going to do whatever I want to do. The second phase, which you actually told me about regarding the mother part of it, like, right? Meaning when she did ask you to stop eating meat.
Oh yeah, my mother,
Remember? Yeah. And that is a conflict. That is a simple, direct, head-on conflict.
Yeah.
And that conflict may be a bit sincere in your case, because people are, I'm simply expecting that the type of upbringing or the family or the type of people that were around you were not kind of people that are going to slap you on every second statement. Oh, I'm not sure.
Very religious parents. So they kind of would, but yeah.
Okay, sorry.
At this age, they don't, because what can you do?
Yes.
But at a young age, yes.
So this is the point. I am able to see only two options in front of me. Either you will have to get separate from them to live your life in such a way, not attending the specific programs of your family, because whenever you're going to go there, again the same kind of pachada is going to happen again and again. From my perspective, please tell me if I'm wrong, only two options are there. One, to live that particular life where, and in your life specifically, if you, I'm not sure, like if I try to make it whole circle, the idea of belongingness. The idea of belongingness from the perspective, from your childhood, where your school time was not great, I say, right? And till the time you went to, you became 16 years old, and that belongingness, when somebody laughed at you, you are not manly enough, not eating chicken, and there that peer pressure and sense of, because you subconsciously wanted to belong, you ate it, and then life continues on, and right now maybe you're finding your belongingness in the
vegan community.
But the one thing which is constant is you're finding your belongingness, where you're trying to belong. And I can see that there are only two ways. Find your either belongingness with the community, vegan community, and you have to leave your...
Okay. So the answer is I disagree. In fact, for that video I uploaded back then, let's just say that different things have transpired in my life since those events that have made me look at life and relationships a bit differently. And I will be the first to state honestly that I never had, growing up, a very good relationship with my parents at all. It has nothing to do with veganism. It just, as me being the critical thinking, inquisitive person that I am, while them being the very, how do you state this, typical Indian that we should, what's that word we can use? Like, not typical, like it is the standard, like what do you call, like your orthodox, thank you. Orthodox Tamil Brahmin family, they behave in a particular way. I don't behave that way at all. I don't think that way at all. My thinking and everything is different. So I just never got along with them. And that unfortunately bled. This is not just because of veganism. That itself kind of caused a big rift happen between me and my family members, because almost all of them, all the elders, their behavior and actions are based only on their religion, not on anything else. And I'm an atheist since I was 11 years old. And I'm 22 years atheist I am. Before I even knew what the word atheist meant, I was an atheist. So very hard. But now at this age, after seeing them get older, at the end of the day, as a man, it is your responsibility to do certain things for your family. And at this point, weirdly enough, now that I have done so much work in regards to veganism and you can say quote unquote famous and stuff, the view that my family has towards me is quite different.
Is it because you're getting famous or what?
I think it's the famous part. I think it is the famous part. It is. Like, they're like, oh, our son is in business apparently. When they go around and they hear stories of their friends' children are vegan because of their son, they're like, what on earth?
What if you would not have this famous? What if then?
I guess that would have led me to feel some level of inadequacy. And they too would have still thought I'm a failure of a son. So the relationship probably could not have been bridged, as I would be bitter myself and they too would think I'm a failure. But since both of those events did not exist in this particular reality we live in, I was able to bridge that gap. And I went and told, listen, mom, dad, I know you guys won't change. You guys are not going to become vegan. In fact, you guys will probably not agree with anything from the girl I married. Actually, here's the weird thing, that they were actually they're very nice to my wife. They're despite the fact that she's not from the same background or community or anything, they love her so much, and rightfully so. Like, she's an incredible human being. Like, they always speak so highly of her. So that thing, I'm very grateful to them. They never, when it comes to my relationship, they never treated her badly at all. But at this point, I tell them, listen, mom, dad, you guys are not going to change. We're never going to agree. But are we going to be fighting like this till the end? Is it even worth it? You know what? I don't care anymore. I don't want to fight with you anymore. I am your son. You are my parents. Let's just coexist. I happen to be vegan. Just happen to agree with me. I will not come and bother you. Just leave it at that. It's okay. Let's just coexist. And that's what I'm doing right now. and my personal life is much better. And for the vegans out there who will want to now point a gun, a red dot here already coming, saying like, oh, so you don't tell your parents anymore, huh? Guys, at one point, as a human being living in this world who has a limited time to live, I am dedicating my life, my level best to convince people to become vegan. But now to expect me to sacrifice my everything in my life for what? They're not going to change, bro. They won't change. What should I do right now, fight or no? The answer to you is, it becomes a problem if you bring your activism into your home. If I am just a vegan, be a vegan.
Be a vegan.
They don't care. It's when I say, oh, but mom, dad, why do you eat dairy? Now that's where we go into a problem. But who knows, maybe one day, maybe my work gets even bigger. And then, here's the weird thing, how Indian parents feel. When others come and speak good about your child, they get this immense sense.
Pride.
I'm wondering why suddenly they're appreciating my work and everything I do. Apparently, I don't know from where they've gotten. Apparently, from many places they do hear those positive things about me. I'm like, and they think, finally, our son is actually worth something maybe. So that's what I've done, Ankit. So it's not a big fight anymore. I go and hug my grandmother. Not that previously I would not hug my grandmother, because not like that. But the point you said, it has to be either complete separation or not. That is because initially as a vegan, like when I saw that video that you saw initially, and you must have also initially felt this, man, it does. See, when a human is exposed to violence, we expect the world to see that violence the same way we see it. And when others refuse to see it, which is not a fair judgment, because there are many even human rights issues, but people might feel very strongly on it. And just because I don't feel as strongly or take as much action as they do, they might think I'm a horrible person. So, but you saw the level of brutality happening here. I told you, that's one thing, like you said, the worst thing you've done to a human is punching them in the face. What you saw was not a punch in the face. That is beyond disgusting. So when you witness such violence and you have to live with people who justify that violence, who then excuse the violence and also put you down when you speak against it, it becomes very hard initially. I was unable to separate as a human being, a 22-year-old in my first change with too much testosterone, too much energy, too much, that 22 is not an adult man. We're still young in our minds, I would say. I was just seething with rage and anger towards the world. Have you seen my videos from 8 years ago?
I have seen that change.
The raging, anger, the abusive words I'll throw at people, all this stuff. From there, I have now come to this. Because at the end of the day, who cares about my feelings? As long as we get more people to change will happen. So to answer your question, Ankit, sorry, I went into my own stupid story.
This is what I wanted.
Okay. So, no, I disagree with you at this point in time. Back then when I made that video, I'll tell you one more thing, people don't believe this, man. Did you know I did not speak to my parents for 4 years? The past 4 years, and on July 10th of this year, I went to my parents' village. They did not even know I was coming. Even she did not know. I didn't even take her. And she used to cry to me. She would sometimes literally hold my hands when we were living and cry and be like, Arvind, will you ever speak to your parents, Arvind? Like, one day, one of them might die and you will never regret it. And you know what I would say? I don't care. That is the level of hurt I became, because not just because of veganism, but because of other things also that transpired in my life. But if you keep that hatred inside of you, what kind of a life? I was the miserable one. Nobody, and I was making others around me, the ones I love, also miserable, because I am just someone who is unwilling to let go because of ego. Because like I'm telling you, man, if they are not going to change, but okay, let's just say this. Arvind can do X amount of effort in his life and convince 1 lakh people to become vegan in his life. Okay. Just because he's crying like a little baby or complaining or being sad or depressed doesn't mean one extra person goes vegan. If I know for a fact, like a magical genie says, Arvind, this is your potential, do I smell the roses along the way, or do I still weep and cry in the graveyard? So you know what? Yeah. As an organism that's alive, I decided to smell the roses. So yes, it is possible.
I think from the perspective of efficiency as well, like if you are smelling those roses, I bet you will be full of so much of energy that the next 1 lakh people will also get converted because of you.
My mental health is better. Yes. I have no hatred. And I say this, it's kind of hard for me to say this, man, like towards my own parents, that I was, this is like, when I was angry and she used to talk to me, I would never listen to her. But now I literally went there, I fell at their feet.
Why do women always know? Because like they know, as far as like this relationship triangle is concerned, they know Same thing somewhat happened to me as well, but it's okay. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
But
So for that small question you asked such a big answer, the answer is yes, I think a balance is possible and I am doing that balance right now. And even regards to people who are non-vegan, I don't just go to them and be like, oh, in the beginning, dude, I literally, a woman at work, I called her Hitler. Do you saw the video? I literally called her Hitler because she eats meat, dairy, and eggs. So now in hindsight, I think that's insane. But that is just immediately, like just a few months after I became vegan, saw all these videos, and I was like, if he did the Holocaust, you're holocausting animals. So I still think factually that's a true statement to make. But that's neither here nor there. My point is that you don't go to random people and just say you're Hitler. You're a madman. But I was that madman because I was full of anger and I was a bitter person. So, yeah.
Can we say like it went full circle? You started with your default version. If you are a robot, your default version was to love animals, right? Default is when it started. And then this thing happened, peer pressure, mental problems, the world happened. And after that, like you basically entertained your taste buds more, you preference, you were basically, if you remember that you said like in our, I don't want to take specific names, but in our community there are specific peoples who will make sure to eat non-veg just to say,
to piss off the ones who don't eat. Yeah. Periyarist from Tamil Nadu. Yeah, you can say it.
Okay.
Nothing wrong. Yeah.
Fine. And after that, like, can you see, like, because you were so, again, limbic system, you were so, your limbic system made you so rageous.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
And when you slowly made sure, like, I have to be efficient without digressing from my purpose, make sure my mental health that the people living like in my vicinity does not lose their mental well-being. And parallelly, if I'm able to reach far more people, this could happen because now you entertained most probably her ideas with your limbic system, with your prefrontal cortex, and then this a new version of you existing in front of me right now. Because I can see that change.
Oh, thank you.
Seriously, matlab ki in the way you are handling and even composed talking, rarely I see in your like initial videos.
Yeah. Initially, it's full of anger. Yeah. So that is the answer. What do you think of that answer? The fact that you can look, if you're going to become a vegan
I
activist
think
like
you
me,
need to get successful first.
Like, so on what regard?
I was kidding.
No, but the point is that you had made the point that you have to either pick complete chaos with family or be a vegan. I'm saying no. If you are to be a vegan activist at home and at work, you're going to face problems. Do that separately. Keep your work life and personal life separate, your activism life separate. That's my thing.
One thing I would like to touch to I'm digressing to a new topic, was regarding, if you see, we were discussing about the thing that I mentioned in the beginning, the person and then in the near vicinity. These are the things that we were discussing up until now. I would like to go to the next part, which you have actually a little bit talked about, and you're not entertaining those possibilities as well, regarding actively going in from the policy and becoming a neta or sorts, like some like
what's a neta?
Like politician basically.
Oh, okay.
Politician is going to make the policies, like from the policies perspective. I know you entertain. You told me like the terminal version would be when that it is being changed at the policy level. That will be the final nail in the coffin. No doubt, I totally agree. But this correct me if I'm wrong again. I got this impression that somehow you think that you not being going in that particular area where is not like but how can I put it? You're not entertaining. You're giving preference to this particular idea to communicate. Mostly, you make
I prefer to communicate the ideology of veganism to other people, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Or instead of, as opposed to
directly going into the policy making process.
As in me being a politician or me trying to go in the political side to fight this thing. Okay.
Or I think like, I don't know why, but like I think that it is becoming a little bit redundant. This is like totally genuine from a YouTuber's perspective. That I could see from last some time point, like the number of views that videos gets, they're very stagnant. Like although you can see your number of subscribers are very high, very huge.
In which platform?
YouTube.
Yeah, okay.
But the YouTube videos views that come are pretty stagnant from like
15K, 20K. Then,
right? Can you see this thing?
Yeah.
And you actually said this statement that via online mode you will be able to reach far more people as compared to, although your outreach program are in schools and colleges as well exist, no doubt about it. But do you think is it the time right now to do that particular change, to go into the policy side? Because right now I can see that the YouTube views are getting very stagnant.
So the answer, first of all, is no. And I want to phrase my answer very clearly and properly here for a simple reason. I do not want to divulge too much about what my next plan is, because this video will be going completely uncut on the internet. And I do not want people who work for the meat, dairy and egg industries to know what my next plan is.
Oh.
Because that's a strategy I have in mind.
Wow.
And so the answer to say to you is that no, such kind of change in my activism will not be happening anytime soon. There is a reason for that. I'm waiting for a particular point to happen. Once we achieve that point, then it would make sense for me to strategize. And just letting you know, I have a whole bunch of strategies. Like if you're going to be alive on earth for the next 10, 15, 20 years, and if I'm not dead, you will be seeing me on the news, on many areas, a lot. But I cannot divulge more than that, Ankit. But I do have a plan, but not at the moment.
Brilliant. Do you have anything to ask me?
Oh yeah, plenty. So you came here seeking for answers. In the beginning, you said, because as an activist, you would know my aim is to somehow try to convince and reason and work with the person in front of me to bring them over to this side. That is my only way. You, from a logical perspective, clearly are aware of everything. There's nothing you're not aware of, being a scientific mind yourself. Not to mention, you're also aware of what the reality is. It's not only have you just witnessed the video I showed you openly, you also have seen plenty such similar footage on the internet as well. Yet you are not, although if I'm right to phrase it this way, you are convinced that veganism is the right way forward. However, you are still unable to take that step to become a vegan because there is something stopping you. And the main point that's stopping you is the fact that you will have to consciously make a decision at every turning point in order to make sure that you are once again not returning back to your old habits. And I, for one, call that as lack of accountability. That just cannot be excused. Now, I want to, of course, again, we're going back to a bit on ethics before. I just wanted to bring forth an example. And then I would like to now speak about habits and stuff to you. And that example is this. When we say, again, I'm speaking to you, bro, I have to be extremely careful with the terms I use because I have other scientist friends, you're all the same, man. Like, Arvind, it's not that. You can't just use the word wrong.
Seriously, you got that impression of me like I'm.
But that is a highly respectful impression I have about you. Because that shows I'm speaking to a very knowledgeable person who is not just going to throw random words around to sound smart. They are smart. That's the difference, right? From pretending to be smart, actually being smart, you are smart. No, I'm not just complimenting, I'm being honest. So with that being the case, if I were to use the term wrong right now, from the perspective of what we in humans, as in society, what we perceive as right and wrong, moral and immoral, I think when it comes to the word wrong, there are different degrees and levels of wrong. In the sense that, like you said, let's say someone swears at you, calls you a bad word, something rude they say to you. That's wrong. Definitely it's wrong. You said you once punched someone in the face. That's also very wrong. That's definitely wrong. Next, we talk about a terrorist who comes and shoots a bunch of innocent people. That's also falls into the bucket of wrong. We talk about a man who has thrown acid in a woman's face, who has raped a child or something. That's wrong. Would you classify all these four in that same bucket on the same tier, or do you think there are tiers of wrongness?
Yeah, spectrum of wrongness.
The spectrum of wrongness. And would you agree that calling someone a bad name would fall on the lower end, whereas something like a terrorist attack or acid attack would fall on the higher end of the spectrum, right? Okay. When we talk now about meat, dairy and eggs, on which part of the spectrum do you see it? Or do you think it's fair to classify it?
Can I show you?
Yeah,
see this.
by all means. You want me to read it?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to show you a 3D. I'm trying to show you a 3D version of it.
We have Bioshala in the house, folks. Go on.
Seriously, this is how it is making a picture in my mind.
Okay.
So this is a spectrum, let us say.
Okay.
Or at the right end where the animal are getting killed, or around to the right side, and this is me. But somehow it is going in this direction as well, where very diplomatic and like better word would be not sure, but like of me, that it goes into Z direction as well, where I am able to just not think about and taking those. I know this is wrong. I will put
no, but no. So I want to do a few things right now once we can.
Sorry.
Yeah, one more thing. Can I have the iPhone given to me? I just want to record him doing this because I want the audience might be seeing you just bending over. They don't see what you're doing, right? I want them to witness this.
True.
So could I have the iPhone or any phone with me, please? Just hold on for a second, guys. Would you like a piece of paper?
Like, how will I write on this?
No. You will draw here. Okay. I will record you drawing.
Okay.
That way, the audience also will have a clear understanding of what we're showing.
So this is the part. You, according to you, the thing that you actually is giving me is this is the part where you are cursing someone, right?
Yes.
And this is the right side where what is happening? You're killing an animal.
No, I did not say that. I said that cursing is on that side and harming of a human being in the most horrible way is on that side.
Okay, fine.
Now, on this spectrum, where would you put the animal?
Animal are right here. This is human.
So you put it on one step before human.
This is cursing. And in the middle way, you have animal rights. Animal. And this is human.
Wait, we're not in the middle there because that would be more so on this side of the spectrum. It's not a middle because a middle would be somewhere.
Not middle in
on the other side. Okay.
Yeah.
But let me just ask you a question if I can.
Yes.
Would you classify the?
And like, why would I even like? As far as like, if you ask me to use my frontal cortex, this is one for me right now.
Because we are animals.
That's what like.
Merci beaucoup. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So it's the same. Okay. Good. We're going good so far. Now, where is the problem coming from?
The problem was like this thing. Like definitely wrong. Too right side. Too much right. Okay. It's not cursing. It's too much killing.
Okay.
Like, human. I somehow this is me for me. Okay. So this is how I was able to do it. Like I was able to. The egg is right here. Like it is here, but it is like. In the mirror in that particular part so that I can actually distance myself from the killing part of it and I could eat it, and which is of course this is wrong, but I can understand like why.
So you deceive basically, if I'm allowed to say this, you can just close it because I think that's done. No, not because I don't want to, because the audience now we can move back to that camera and the editing process. No, my point is then, so you are deceiving yourself. You are willing to be deceived.
Yes, if I'm being honest to myself,
you're willing to deceive yourself.
I can see that I am constantly making sure somehow. I'm not like the moment I will say like I am thinking that is the time I won't be able to do it. Which is being on an autopilot. That is the problem for me.
Wait, let me get this.
Found out.
If I get it right, you mean being an autopilot is the problem for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
The moment I'll actively think. The moment I'll actually think they both are equal for me, I won't be able to take that step.
Okay.
The step was taken in absence of mine.
Okay. So we'll come to habits in a bit, but this is a fair explanation that you gave me. I understand your perspective from seeing this drawing, but I just wanted to know that, you are openly also agreeing that it is wrong. Yeah, fair enough. You're just saying you're stuck. This is your problem. How do I solve it is your question, right?
Mostly I'm getting my answer. Like it's okay. Like the thing that this is my answer. This is I was not here with this answer, which was to the moment you'll actively think before consuming. What I'm wearing. I don't think like what I'm buying. But when I'm eating, I'm not actively think what I'm eating. But most probably if I'm paying attention to what I'm buying, what I'm putting into my body, be it from the perspective of what I'm wearing or putting inside it, most probably I don't want to commit anything, but like I found answer for myself.
Okay. Now my thing is, why do you feel it's difficult to have that conscious thought? And you can just come a bit close to the mic if you can.
I don't think it's a difficult part. It's just if it is being thought or not, like that is the point. Like think, I need to just initially I need to remind myself, okay, please be conscious of what you're actually doing. That's it.
That's where the word, the label called vegan comes in. So can you tell me right now, when it comes to your habits, where and all do you purchase meat, dairy and eggs? Like where do you consume, like for breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Like give me like a week's worth of like how much you. Do you live alone right now, or do you live with your family?
I'm guessing with my family.
Yeah, yes. A joint family.
Initially, it was. Right now, not. But like you can consider it as.
You have revealed pretty much all of that just your speeches so far. Okay, so I presume that there is one particular individual in the family, or like a few females who do most of the cooking, and you guys just have to come for eating, or do you have a say in what's made? Are you allowed to enter the kitchen and cook? For example, when I used to live with my family,
I cook food one time.
Okay.
Like.
What do you make? What do you make?
Everything.
No, but then do you have any particular dish you make that contains any kind of animal ingredients in it?
Milk.
Milk. What do you make? So, what do you make?
Coffee, milk. That's it. Like apart from that, like the thing I make is rice, dal, and like normal veggies.
Okay.
And actually, as far as I am concerned, the frequency is very minimalistic only for egg and meat. But for milk, it's daily.
Okay. Now, do you drink tea and coffee because you enjoy the overall experience of how it tastes and feels, or do you drink it for the caffeine rush?
But it's okay. I mean to say, like the same statement or same thing we have actually went through regarding like what am I supposed to do? What are the things that are stopping me from doing that? And if you want to go ahead with these things, it's okay. Please go ahead.
I think, it is important because like you said, see, if you could have, you would have.
Oh,
but you didn't. Right.
Nice. Very nice. Wow.
You're saying that seriously, or are you like joking? I don't know.
No. Wow.
I mean, if you could have become vegan, you would have become vegan, right? He's noting it down. Go ahead if you want to.
You know, like there's this statement which is very central to me, which is everything can be learned, but nothing can be taught. Of course, again, I'm repeating the same statement that I uttered in the beginning. There might be not a single argument that I'll pose today that has never been discussed before, which is still stands true. But again, just as that particular statement was just a normal statement for you, right? But because I was able to see something in that particular statement that stimulated, like this thing. If I could have, like I don't think like there's another statement to describe it. This is like as
accurate.
Pure statement it goes. It is.
Yeah.
It's the purest statement.
And that's why I wanted to discuss your habits and I wanted to give suggestions, because if you could have, you would have, right? You can't. You are for some reason you're unable to, and at that point, I would say just again see who am I to control you or order you? A request from a fellow as a vegan. Please, I can give you exactly step-by-step things you can do. And if you implement them, and they may even be hard at first, but just grit your teeth and move forward and implement them for 6 months. And before you know it, they become your new habits and you don't have to think again, Ankit, but you are a vegan who is now no longer exploiting animals. It's that simple. It's now not about convincing yourself. It's about making the leap. It's about making that next jump. And you can do it. And that's why the first thing I asked you was, do you drink that tea and coffee because you enjoy the overall mouthfeel of the milk with the coffee and the experience in the morning when you wake up? Or is it for that caffeine rush and like, you know what, I get the caffeine?
Mouthfeel.
You like the whole experience. Okay. This now will be entering into another territory which many people will be happy to accuse veganism of. Have you heard of vegan dairy alternatives? Expensive stuff, I'm aware. But if you are saying to me that, Arvind, that mouthfeel is so important for me, I will then say buy something like oat milk.
I think like, as far as I am concerned, these choices are almost meaningless if the base fundamental axiom is like people will do anything. Like I'm willing to state this statement that even if I am unable to live, like my life is getting even shortened by 10 years, it's acceptable to me.
Okay.
If, on the basis of like if the right of an animal,
the axiom is clear
like,
for you.
I'm not looking for those arguments like I need to like.
But you still haven't changed, Ankit. That's the whole point. See, you are saying you don't need it, and you're saying you do get the message. But look at where you are in the drawing. Look at where you are in the drawing. You're stuck. So then that means the alternative is exactly for you because you understand it. but still your brain for some reason is able to distinct that drawing is the perfect representation, right?
Open. Yeah. I'm open. Tell me.
Yeah, fine. So I would suggest you to buy a brand called So Good. And by the way, guys, I am not sponsored by any vegan brand. I don't know why people accuse me that some company, some millionaires
Go
are
ahead and
paying
talk
me.
to them. No? Like, what is wrong with it?
With whom the companies
The
are?
company talk to
The
them.
vegan companies love me obviously because I promote their stuff for free. They don't pay me anything. But I am saying that the general public in India is saying Arvind is being paid by some corporate companies to promote this vegan message. That's the whole
They
idea.
want to dilute the authenticity of it. Like
Exactly, yeah. It's an excuse they give. But yeah, there's a brand called So Good and they have something called oat milk. Bro, the mouthfeel is just like cow milk. It is so freaking good. Here's the con to it though. It's expensive. It's hell of expensive when compared to cow's milk. I would say if you have the budget, buy oat milk. If you don't have the budget, forget that taste forever because you will never miss tea or coffee more than a baby cow would miss his mother.
Valid, totally valid.
So that's my first option to you. Will you be willing to switch over to oat milk? Yes, a suggestion, but no pushing from my side, just asking. Would you be willing to switch over to oat milk or soy milk?
I would like to try it. Like I haven't, never in my life, I've never tried even the soy milk or oat milk.
Well, you can try. The brand is called So Good. You can order on your phone. S-O.
Yeah,
you know them. Yeah.
You
So
have
Good.
already mentioned it, but I never ordered it. But most probably I
Yeah.
will.
But go on.
Most probably I will.
Yeah. So that is where the oat milk comes from. Next thing is when it comes to eggs, what do you like to make out of your eggs, Ankit? Like how do you like to prepare them?
Boiled.
Just hard boiled eggs. Simple guy. Nothing fun. No omelette, scramble, sunny side up. Nothing. This guy just eats hard boiled egg with the yolk. And all.
With yolk and.
How many eggs do you eat a day?
I don't I eat. It's not frequent. It's maybe 5 days I ate because I bought a crate. After that 2 months I did not eat.
Okay. So here's what I would say. Next time what you do is, first of all, don't buy the eggs. And of course, it now becomes harder for you because you live in a joint family and there are others in the house who do eat these products and they'll be available in the kitchen. You have to make, if you want, get like a wristband for yourself. And every time you see an animal product, what you do is you take it and you snap it. Okay, let it hit your hand. Since you're saying you don't think, pain is a great motivator of thinking.
I totally agree. And can you see each and everything is roaming around the same, the thing that somehow I found out for myself, be aware of it. Be aware of while doing anything.
Yeah. But you are finding yourself hard to do
I did
so.
not know it. This answer I just found out.
You did not know this drawing before you came?
No. This one I did not know. Answer that this one to think. To think when we were discussing about the spectrum, I said if I'm thinking, I will not do at any step whatsoever. If I'm not thinking, I'm not well. So I'm getting each and every answer that you're giving me is resonating with the existing idea or the answer that I found out for myself. Be aware.
Okay. Now here's my next tip for you to resonate even more maybe. You are in Delhi, right? How far is Delhi from this place in Shimla called Dharamshala? How far is it?
Maybe 500 kilometers.
Holy crap. I did not know this. Okay, fine. There is a sanctuary there. I don't know if you heard of it, called People Farm. Have you heard of it? One guy called Robin Singh, the dude with the glasses and backwards cap, that guy. What I would suggest is, since let's consider it like this way. Ankit finds out what we figured out what the issue is. We are now trying to find ways where we do get him to think consciously most of the time. So then he is able to, with that conscious thinking, form new habits. And then even if he stopped thinking, it doesn't matter because his habits happen to be vegan. That's the approach I'm taking. You're following me so far? One of the things which sounds really dumb, but seriously it works, trust me, is seriously get one of those thick rubber kind of straps to keep a watch over here. And whenever you get the urge or whenever you see those things and you think, oh my God, I'm going to eat an animal product, pull it back with force and let it hit your hand. Because why? Suddenly, because of the jolt of pain, you are forced to now remember certain things and remind yourself I shouldn't be doing that. Sounds dumb. I know, it's telling a child.
Not dumb. It's like conditioning. This
Pavlovian.
Pavlovian.
But what do we do? We're stuck at the crossroads. Yes. At a crossroads, I am just as an activist trying to give suggestions. Number one. Number two is, you said you witnessed when you went to the slaughterhouse, the goats hanging upside down, and that had an impact. Sometimes, even what I showed you was a negative stimulus. It is like suffering and blood and pain. Go to People Farm or if you can go visit any other animal, I just said you do not go to many of these so-called cow rescue centers. Again, I have nothing particularly against Goshalas or any particular individual. I just want to make my case clear. People will think, oh, now you're anti-Hindu, and that's not my point. The reason why I told you to people farm is because that's run by vegans, and vegans rescue all species of animals, not just cows. Some people rescue only dogs. I don't like that. Some people only cows. I don't like that. Some people, I'm telling you, that these Goshalas, they will not rescue buffaloes because they say that's Yamadharma. I'm like, that's a life, my friend. They will not rescue cows that are of foreign breed because apparently the cows that come from Europe can die, but the native Indian cows, what?
Yes. It is pretty significant in the northern India as well. Like there are so many what do you call idioms and muhavra, like in Hindi, that are totally against, like telling you that how dumb the buffalo is, and don't drink even its milk, like that.
I support that message, but they're not dumb. But yeah,
no. Like, from that perspective, that the reasoning is wrong. No? It is so dumb that don't drink its milk. Can you get it?
No. We really put down animals so badly when humans are truly the dumb. I am team animal, not team human. But anyways, when you go to a place like People Farm and you can then witness those animals for the first time in their life, these goats and pigs and chickens and turkeys, all of them coexisting happily, knowing that there's no negative stimulus around them trying to physically harm them, and then they'll come to you, they'll sniff you, they'll lick you. Oh wait, you're the kind of guy who doesn't like animals, right? Okay, then you know what? Let's crash this. But how about this? Go there not necessarily to maybe, pet them. Just be around them for once. Sometimes what happens is that, like you said, you want the dog to be 2 feet away, but you recognize that harming them is wrong. But guess why? You have always, whenever you see a dog in your life, when you see them, when they're walking on the road, when they're sleeping, they're barking or running. But every time you come across a chicken is when it's already cut up, dead and cooked on your plate. Every time you see a goat is already when it's cut up, dead, and you have not seen the individual before. So I want you to go to a sanctuary and see the individuals there, and even stand at a 10 feet distance and then imbibe it in your head like, yeah, you know what? I may not like being close to them. Maybe they stink, maybe they're hairy, they're weird, whatever. But I recognize their right to be on earth just like me. And maybe that experience could also add to further in your mind the idea that I should be conscious about this and not do this. I am now just trying to find reasons. One is Pavlovian reinforcement, which I know it sounds crazy, but I think it does work. It does work, bro. Trying alternatives. When you said you like eggs, I wanted to say that. Do you have an air fryer or oven at home? Okay, actually that's not necessary. What you can do is, tofu, right? Buy tofu. Have you ever eaten tofu so far? No. You buy tofu, crumble it nicely, then you burji. You put a little bit of oil and whatever you put for an omelette per se, you put that there. Put the egg in same spices, the tofu in the same spices. You mix it well, and then when you transfer it to a plate, and then in the end you should take kala namak. Have you tried that taste?
You have mentioned it, I have not tried it.
My friend, I want you today, if you want, just go to any shop around Mumbai, buy black salt, cut it open, take this, wet your finger on your tongue, put that in there and put it in your mouth. Your brain cells that activate when you consume eggs will begin activating. You will be like, where is this flavor coming from? I don't know the chemistry behind it, but I can assure you it happens. So when you combine that high fatty, high protein, tasty, masala-ridden tofu burji along with the kala namak, my friend, you got eggs. And you got zero cholesterol, high calcium, high protein, plant-based food. So please, from today, make an effort. So good oat milk. You're going to start making tofu burjis with the black salt. And that's pretty much like the only animal-based foods you regularly eat. Apart from that, I want you right now, like how you saw that video, whenever you see meat, like when you see chicken, stop seeing a leg piece. See the individual instead. And when will you do that? When you go to a sanctuary and actually see them. You've never seen these farm animals interacting happily, running and playing, right?
In video only.
Videos, man, that doesn't do justice, bro.
I know.
Doesn't do justice. Like, we even seeing this violence through videos.
I don't go out much.
Yeah, I can understand. I'm actually very much introverted like that. But me too. But the thing is that the violent things also we see, these videos, the screaming and all, it's one thing to see on a video. If that was happening right now in front of us, I think most of us in this room will throw up. We would literally vomit or shit our pants. It is violence is so toned down when you see it on a screen.
Yes.
Instead of seeing it. Similarly, love and empathy, and when you witness these animals being free like that, even that is so different when you see it finally in real life. So you said you're capable of recognizing a dog that's 1 feet away, his right to existence, because I say you see him. If whenever you met a dog was only when they are cut up and put on a plate and given to you, you wouldn't feel that way for the dog either, because you've been conditioned that way. Break that conditioning by going to a people farm and seeing these animals. Take these alternatives. Do the Pavlovian method. It is hard for you, Ankit, but I would request you, please do all of these. Do them for 6 months. Just somehow do it. And from 6 months and the first day, without even realizing, you can stop thinking again, but you will make only vegan choices because you've trained yourself like Pavlovian dog to do that. What do you think of my suggestions?
No, like I totally, right where you started, like I knew like where, like what are the suggestions and what am I supposed to do? Yeah, totally agree with your points.
You agree? Would you, I know you don't have to commit to anything on camera, and I'm not the kind of person who forces, but then again, people will be curious. Why didn't you ask him, Arvind? They'll come in the comments, so I have to do that. Would you consider, Ankit, being, see, so far something has been keeping you away from veganism. Like either you found it within you to just not care, maybe? Is that the right word to put it? Like,
don't know.
You don't know.
But it's okay, but I'm getting my answers. And it's okay. Like, I know that because it's okay, because I have seen you stating the same identical statements. I was wondering like if I can find an answer for myself, and I, in a sense, I found the first step. I need to just try it. Like I will not. Of course, this is like, I want to try it first, like on my personal level, then I will see what is working, what is not working. Yeah.
And I would say if anything is not working,
I'll call you.
Reach out to me, bro. I'm right there. Now we're friends at this point. It's not just like we met, we're friends right now. So please feel free to reach out to me anytime. You know me, I'm genuinely there to help. Like you.
No, seriously. Yeah, I can see, like, of course.
Yeah. And I just want to touch upon one last thing before we close, if we can. And that is, there was, when you mentioned some time ago when you're talking about that blue dye, you did mention something where you said like, would that blue dye not, however, affect or kill an animal elsewhere?
I just wanted to know, like, if it is a spectrum, where are we making sure, okay, fine, at this level, like, everybody would want how much in their, the thing that they could understand, they would want, like, directly or indirectly, the type of violence is happening because of me shall stop. Right? Be it direct or be it indirect. And to find out the indirect things or the unseen things, you have to take an extra step to know things. So for you, I was asking, the specific question was for you. That, like, where is that thing that you stop yourself from considering that this is the direct infliction of violence, which is so obvious to you? Everybody would assume that he's an animal activist. Why would he eat something like that? But I wanted to know the secondary and the tertiary things where you actually put the bar.
Beautiful question. We'll deep dive and just go into this if it's okay.
Why? Because
beautiful. So I want to first segregate this into 3 categories, and I also, not just for animals but also for humans. First thing is, in law there is a word called premeditation. Have you heard of it? It means to do with intent. So for example, if person A was to kill person B with the intent to kill person B, it becomes what we call as manslaughter, first degree murder. Now, if person A is driving on the road, carefully, cautiously, everything, person B happens to be drunk, roaming about, has no sense of what's going around them, person A accidentally hits person B, that is murder happening there, but it is not premeditated, it is not first degree murder, it's not manslaughter, because it's an accident. We have to understand that premeditated murder in this world in regards to humans can 100% be eradicated because they are done with the intent to kill. Wherever accidents take place, we can only be careful and reduce the number of accidents taking place, as that is no intent to kill. Third issue comes with when a human being finds themselves locked within a system where they cannot, unfortunately, leave that system in order to find a solution, but rather they have to be a part of the system in order to find a solution. Let me again give an example for this in the human rights concept. you and me pay our taxes every single day for every item we purchase, or in the end of our income tax returns, everything we do it perfectly as citizens of this country. Now, we have no assurity that our taxpayer money is being used only for the best of things in regards to other humans. There are police officers and authorities in this country who misuse their power and do horrible things to people who are in the hierarchy below them. And we are the one with our taxpayer monies giving them their salaries. Not to mention, India is a part of the United Nations, and they have to pay a specific cut, a percentage to them every single year for their operations, and they might use that money they get for anything. For example, United Nations conducts something called as peacekeeping missions. Peacekeeping missions sound very sweet and nice. It means they go to a place and they kill the people there that they don't, because they're bringing peace there. You can bring peace in a violent area by more fighting only, right? Yeah. Now, on many issues, I might agree with the UN. On many issues, I might disagree with the UN. But regardless, my taxpayer money is being used by my government to pay to the United Nations, and therefore with that they buy bullets, and it's the bullet that I have sponsored with my taxpayer money that's in someone's head right now who's dead. But that does not make me a first-degree murderer. Why? Because I cannot suddenly be like, you know what, Ankit, from tomorrow, no more taxes. I'm not. Buddy, if you breathe, apart from breathing, anything else you purchase, you are paying taxes. If you not submitting income tax regularly, you're going to go to jail soon. So, with that being the case, I am now stuck within a system that I cannot escape. But guess what? From within the system, I can still try to find ways to solve this issue. Now, let's put that same thing towards animals. Number one, what we do in the meat, dairy and egg industries, leather, wool and silk industries, not to mention in the pet industries, in zoos and circuses, and how animals are exploited in the name of culture and religion. All of these are done with premeditation, intentionally planned to be done this way. That can 100% be stopped. They are tier number one. People also like to point out how when vegans are eating these crops, the harvester is going, it might kill some rat in the field, or many other animals die as a consequence of farming. Of course, accidents occur. But just because, what can we do? We have to now try to find ways to be more careful to prevent accidents. But comparing accidents to first-degree murder would not make sense in the human context. It also does not make sense logically in the animal context. And finally, vegans do use pesticides. I'm buying a shirt that's blue. The ink could have been used to float on a river and kill a fish or something. I don't know. But guess what? I cannot now suddenly be like, I will go naked because I'm vegan. Or I will stop eating any food because pesticide is used. No, I have to, unfortunately, best example. Even though I'm a vegan, do you know when I'm sick, I go to the doctor and I take medications? And guess what happens? They test on animals. Now, I cannot be like everyone should become vegan and who and all have to go to the doctor have to die from tomorrow. That's not the right answer.
Have you seen the movie The Ship of Theseus?
I don't see movies, but go help me understand.
But it's like there's a premise in the movie. There's this Jain sadhu, most probably Jain sadhu, and he is his liver is getting inflamed, and day by day he's getting bad. But onto the principles of Jainism, he says that like I cannot take those medicines which are being made by inflicting pains on animals basically. So slowly and steadily his situation deteriorates basically. But after that, like because I have done, I have inflicted pain on because I was researching.
Yeah, you were researching, right.
I was researching. So I was actively like in one day I was not killing basically. We wanted to them to live, but mutilating them eyes and trying to find out the answer. What is your views as far as this particular thing goes?
So I am obviously completely opposed to it, but the problem is that at this point it falls into what we call as armchair activism. You know what that is? I'm able to sit here comfortably in an AC room in an armchair and comment saying, oh, you know what, Ankit, animal testing is so wrong. It is so wrong. It should be stopped. Okay, Arvind, so how do we stop it? Why? Because it is, first of all, a system where now suddenly human lives are depending on it. See, unlike meat, dairy and eggs, which we humans don't have to necessarily consume because we can now synthesize supplements like omega-3, vitamin D and B12. Again, if these things didn't exist means obviously being vegan would be very, very hard because we can't get these nutrients. People don't take medications they're like some people take thyroid medications. If they don't, they might literally die. Type 2 diabetics need that insulin shot, which these days they make synthetically, but earlier was made from pigs, I believe, right?
Yes.
Because they're similar to human beings. So if they don't, they literally die. I cannot tell someone who's in a life or death situation, be vegan and die. That makes no sense. They have the right to be on earth too. That's where I come now at a crossroads. When it comes to medications, there are many vegan activists and groups who specifically focus on fighting against animal testing. They are trying to bring these in vitro, in silico, and what's that? Organoids, right?
Yes.
You would know much more about this. Yeah. Of course,
this is again the hierarchical part of it. Like, what do? You start with, let's say, bacteria. You want to understand something about a protein. You want to work. Okay, fine. You can work on it. But unless and until, if somebody is doing some kind of basic research, good, go ahead, do it. Like use yeast, use bacteria, do your experiments on them. But if something like I need to pay attention to, let us say I'm trying to create an antibiotic and it is supposed to be terminally used in patients and they are humans. In the hierarchy of it, I need to go to the better and better system so that ultimately I can use them for a human.
The human trial, yeah.
Yes. And if I'm like speaking of the subject, like just a fun fact, what do you think, like in last 200 years or so, how many people being killed by one particular virus, let's say TB? How many? If you have to take a random guess.
I am not sure.
Random guess.
In the past, how many years?
200 years.
200 years. So as of now, we have 8 billion humans. So I'm just guessing from 200 years, you would have had in total probably only 20 billion humans is what I'm guessing. And get an idea. Among 20 billion humans, I guess in the past 200 years, we would have lost from tuberculosis at least 1 billion.
Exactly. Yeah. Wow.
Not
very
bad,
nice.
Okay.
Very nice. But like 20 billion, like you are expecting like the population of in last 200 years, the population would have been 20 billion.
I'm
is it like
part of wrong.
It's
Probably
okay.
12 or 13 billion probably would be
It's
better.
okay. The point is, and the second part would be like another fun fact would be like, these are the two fun facts which I love the most, because 1 billion is like, it's such a mind-boggling number. Like one particular disease is able to kill 100 crore. 100 crore people, and like and that too, we have medication. After 1950s, we have the medication for TB. People, 100%, almost 100% of the people can be saved which are dying from the TB. And right now the number is at like somewhere around 12 to 15 lakhs per year. In spite of this fact, like, second fun fact that I love the most, the question is, which is the most dangerous animal as far as the killing is concerned?
Fellow human.
No, but let us say till now 100 billion people till now, like this, that's why I thought like 20 billion is a bit weird, because up until now 100 billion or 105 like 105
billion human Homo sapiens have walked Earth. That I know, yeah.
Out of them, 50 billion, like 50% of them were killed by one and only organism.
Yeah, that same organism probably also killed Alexander the Great. Yeah.
Yes, and that's why, like, in the rainy seasons right now, dengue, malaria. So again, this is the second thing. I almost forget about it. Your views as far as the animal testing was concerned.
Yeah, like I said, it's armchair activism. I can comment, just like how I can probably make this comment also. Bro, the war in Israel and Palestine, I see the footages, it breaks my heart. I think both countries should stop fighting and just hug it out. How easy for me to say from here when I can't provide an actual on-ground solution? Same thing, just
it's
like...
It's okay, but even if we need to, let us say, discuss around it. Next 5 minutes?
We can discuss that. My point is that at sometimes, the thing is, what is the point of me condemning something when I can neither give a solution nor do I have an alternative perfectly model on hand right now? Because when it comes to meat, dairy and eggs, I'm saying, hey bro, eat tofu, eat soy chunks. I'm like literally giving you stuff. Take kala namak, eat oat milk. See, but for animal testing, I understand that it holds a certain... I would disagree with the fact if somebody says that animal testing is the best scientific method we have right now to test if medications work, because we know that many things that we test on animals fail in human trials, and many things that initially fail in animal trials, we never bring them to humans because... But then again, in that way of logic of thinking, I mean, if we were to find out whether chocolate is okay for humans or not, and we tested them on dogs, we would have never given any chocolate to humans, right?
They failed not because it was being tested on animals. Like that is like, you're supposed to consider this fact as well, no?
Okay.
That they are, let us say, Nimuslide, like this is the drug that which was being retracted, and there are several drugs, and one particular drug takes, do you know, like one particular drug from the idea being
if you can just keep the mic close to you,
if the idea is being conceived in someone else's mind till the time it is being you can buy it in the market, like it takes somewhere around 10 to 14 years for one particular
Yeah,
drug.
I can believe that.
And in this process, they would try their level best because they are being regulated by authorities. Like as far like supplements are being not regulated by anybody.
That is true.
But
Medications
as far as
are.
medications
Yeah.
are being highly regulated.
Yes.
And even after that, somebody is retracting it. It's good. First thing, it's good, but not like it is not being retracted because it was being tested on animals and somehow it failed. And even if we are looking at it, I think like probably success rate, we are supposed to pay attention to like how many of drugs that were being released in the market in the past, let's say 50 years, and out of which how many of we retracted. And I totally agreeing on to that particular axiom that it's okay, we constantly need to find out in silico methods and other methods to create a drug, and believe me, we are on the that pathway.
I know, but yeah, go on, yeah.
Like same thing, I lost my chain of thought, but axiom is we both are agreeing on it. Like
So what I wanted to say was that what's the point in condemning something?
No,
when,
I
that's what I'm saying. And if anyone wants to make the statement that vegans are hypocrites because they take medicines, by all means make that statement. I have never told anyone they can't.
No,
make
you
that
cannot
statement.
be 1 or 0. No, like it's like they're asking like if you are good at everything to 100% of the
I am
extent.
not talking about good or bad here. What I'm saying is that I told you 3 divisions, tiers. One is premeditated murder. Second is accidents. This is also premeditated torture of animals, but I am stuck in a system. Now I have to be a part of the system while I try to change it. I cannot suddenly be out of the system, just like how suddenly you cannot stop paying taxes and then ensure that everyone's taxpayer money is properly being spent and not for doing violent activities which you don't agree, right?
Agree.
Sometimes when it comes to meat, dairy and eggs, I can completely be like, you know what, I'm boycotting it right now because I have something else to choose. If this is a communist country where the government only told Arvind, this is your ration for the day, for your family, what do I do? Nothing I can do, right? In a communist country, if they're going to divide resources every day of the night and say, this is your food, your food, your food, you take what you're given. You don't have much choice there. But this is not like that. I am given a choice. But when it comes to medications, whether Arvind chooses to take medication starting from today till the day I die,
How about
testing is still going to happen.
Just for the sake of
Go on.
discussion random. How about Ayurveda or like homeopathy? Like I'm
You're
just
putting me in a difficult situation. I'll tell you why you're doing that. Because there are many people from my community, the vegan community, who do believe in those. And I respectfully wish to disagree with them as I wish to say, not that I'm scared, it's just that I don't want to offend people unnecessarily, right? Because they have a strong feeling. Totally. But no, I honestly understand the difference between a belief system and evidence-based science. And I prefer evidence-based.
Okay, right. Correct.
Yeah.
Just to had to mention.
Fair enough. So, yeah, I guess we've covered a lot of topics. We've also opened up and seen from your mind, you're able to pick apart and see a bunch of ideas. All I can hope is that for people watching, please, my only message is consider going vegan. And Ankit, I have given you from my side all suggestions. I hope you will consider them.
I'm seriously, like from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Well, thank you so much for your time too, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good day. Yeah.
Same.